have done is we have made two components. We have made two components. One is a navbar and one is a footer. In a navbar, we are trying. I have put the title of the project, that is cart, and we have added number of products. And in the footer, we have grand total and the total of the product that we're going to be having in the future. Now, what we have to make is we have to add a form to add a new products, and we have to list the products. So let's start with listing the products because that is a little bit tedious task, and then we will proceed towards making the new adding a form to add new products. Okay, so let's start with that. And I guess for that, I'm gonna come to the VS Code and let's start with generating the components. For generating the components, what exactly we have to do is we have to write a command saying ng gc and the name of the component. That will be components folder, then slash, and that would be products. Okay, so this will contain my multiple products. Okay, so let's use this one first. Let it develop this. Okay, so we got multi products over here, and we got the HTML over here that we need to use. Right, in the HTML it's saying products works. So let's come to the component app.html, and over here we're gonna add this new component that we have created, app.products. Let's save it up and start the project. Let's see, are we able to see the changes or not? Okay, coming back over here to the application and just reload it once and we are able to see the product one. Okay, now inside this, what we have to do is we have to make a table, and in the table we have to show the products, right? So let's start with that. I will come to the products over here and let's start with writing this. So let's create a container first. So for container, let's give it a class of the bootstrap called container. What does it do is it adds a layer having some predefined CSS to it. Okay, now inside this, what we want is we need to add rows, and rows having some values, and after that we're going to be showing the products. First will be the columns, so let's add a row for those columns. Okay, so for that, mm, let's see how can we do it. So for that we will come to the bootstrap, and bootstrap we must have a row and column property. Row. Okay, we are not able to see. Let's search it over here. Row. Okay, so here we can see again all the row and column structure that we want to use. Okay, so here we can add the columns, and below this we can also add the rows as well, as many rows as we want to. Okay, so let's copy the class of it because we don't want anything else from here. So we will just copy this one up, and let's have a div. And inside this div, we're gonna have a class and we will add this. Okay, we have copied the class as well. So we will directly copy this up and we will save it up. Now, over here, what we have to do is we have to add a column. So let's try to use this one only. Column having margin row column. Okay, let's use this one only. Okay, over here, the first column we will show the name of the product name. Next we have is uh, price. Next we have is quantity. And finally we're gonna have is column. Oh, sorry, not column, total. Okay, let's see what is the output of it. Okay, we are able to see this, but there is still a lot of gap. So let's try to increase the spaces around it. So let's say this will the quantity will use more columns. So let's say column for the quantity would be this. Okay, and total will also have. Okay, let's 4, and over here let's have it 5. Over here let it be 3 and 3. Okay, fine. We need to increase the width. So rows calls to large 5. Okay, we don't need this. We don't need this as well. Okay, let's have this one only. Okay, now it's better. So instead of this, we will have 2, and rest of them will not have. Let's price have it 2, and column total have it 3. Perfect. Okay, now let's say text align center. We have this. Let's say let's search it up. Text align center. How can we do it? In text alignment, we got it over here. Text center is the class that we need to apply. Okay, so let's try to apply it over here first, and let's remove from here. Let's see the output. Okay, that this is working. So let's put it everywhere, and we are good to go with this. Perfectly fine. Okay, so we got the columns over here. Next we have to do is we have to show the products. Now, for showing the products, what we have can do, we were making a cart application, and over here we're gonna have a multiple products. And one is that first count how many products are there, and for every product write the HTML for it. But that's a tedious process. And for avoiding that only, we are using Angular. We are using React, not the basic HTML. So what we're going to be doing over here is we're going to be creating another component. Another component, we're going to add the, and we're going to just call that component number of times depending upon how many products we have. So for that, let's make the products first. So I will come to the component products.component.ts over here. And over here, let's make the products first. So I will say um, products of type what? Of product class that we created. It's not giving me hints. What happened? We have created a class or not. Okay, we have not created any class as of now. So it's not giving us any hint. Now, thing that we need to see over here is that we have a product, and product has a particular structure. Structure means it's gonna have a price, it's gonna have a quantity, it's gonna have a ID, it's gonna have a name. So it has a predefined structure to it. Okay, and whenever we have a structure of a particular object of a particular thing, what do we do is we create a class of it so that we can define it as structure, and we can use all those quantities, all those things together as a single entity. I hope everyone know what a class is. I have told this thing in the last class as well. Yesterday also I have introduced. Anyone who doesn't know what is class? Okay, everyone knows the class. That's great. So let's move forward in that scenario. Let's create a class now for the product. We don't have a class. So I will say ng generate a class for me called product. Okay, so what? Wait. Let's put it in a different folder. So I will say models slash product. Okay. So when we do this, we're gonna have a new folder called models. Over here, we will be defining all the structures, all the uh, classes that we're gonna be using. Although in this small project that we are building over here, to understand all the basic important concepts, to understand, to build Angular application, we will have only one model. But when you will be working on a full-fledged project, you will have plenty and plenty of models, because that's what TypeScript does to the JavaScript. In JavaScript, we don't do that because there is no predefined structure, and we can put anything anywhere. Okay, but the moment JavaScript switches to TypeScript, type checking is plays the main role. So we have to define the type of each and everything. If we don't define the type, it will not gonna work. It will keep us showing the errors. So what we're gonna be doing over here is in this uh, product.ts file. Product.spec contains again testing scenarios. We don't have that in this sessions. We are not covering that part. So we will come to the class and we will define the structure of it. So let's say every product, what are the things every product gonna have? Every product gonna have is ID, that will be number. Every product gonna have name, that will be string. Every product gonna have is white string red line. Okay.
Sir, in this, why we are writing export class product for which purpose?
We have written the ng command that will generate a new file for us. So
ओके सो yesterday जैसे आपने कल किया था कि इसमें यहाँ फाइल शो कर रही थी बहुत सारी उसकी तरह ही
हाँ हाँ, हमने कल जनरेट कंपोनेंट जनरेट किया था, आज भी एक कंपोनेंट जनरेट किया ना हमने ऊपर प्रोडक्ट्स का।
अ, जो फर्स्ट फर्स्ट बार किया था वो क्या
हाँ, जैसे यहाँ पे ये प्रोडक्ट जनरेट किया ना हमने, प्रोडक्ट्स का कंपोनेंट जनरेट किया, तो उसने क्या किया, 4 फाइल्स नहीं बनाई और एक फाइल ऐड करी।
अपडेट हो गई हाँ
अपडेट वाली फाइल में क्या होता है, अपडेट वाली फाइल मैंने लास्ट क्लास में बताया था, अपडेट वाली फाइल में जब भी नया कंपोनेंट बनता है तो ऐप डॉट मॉडल डॉट टी एस में वो कंपोनेंट ऐड हो जाता है, ताकि हम उसको कहीं भी यूज कर सकें अपने प्रोजेक्ट में।
हम्म
इसलिए वो अपडेट हुई है, बाकी 4 फाइल्स नहीं बनी। सेम सी इज शॉर्ट फॉर्म में, सी इज फॉर कंपोनेंट, बट व्हेन वी वांट टू जनरेट अ क्लास, so we have to write a complete class. So now what I have done, I have written ng for generate class and product. So what it models, I have added a folder first and then product. So it has created a new folder called models. Inside that models, it has created a file called product.ts, where it has given me export class product. Here I just need to define the properties of it so that I can use it everywhere. Understood? Whoever is asking.
यस सर
Clear? Okay. So now we have to give it a predefined value as well. So let's move forward. Okay. Okay. Next we're gonna have is a price, and finally last we wanna have is quantity.
सो ये सब मतलब आप बेस्ड ऑन जैसे अपन ने पहले उसके अंदर फर्स्ट टू फाइल्स में आपने जो जो नाम डाले थे उसकी बेसिस पे आप यहाँ वो क्लास का डिफाइन कर रहे हो
नहीं, मैं यहाँ पे ये सोच रहा हूँ कि मुझे चाहिए क्या। वैसे मैंने आपको कल एग्जांपल दिया था स्टूडेंट की इंफॉर्मेशन। स्टूडेंट की इंफॉर्मेशन में मैंने स्पेसिफाई किया था कि वहाँ पे नेम होगा, ईमेल होगा, मोबाइल होगा, एड्रेस होगा, वो सब बताया था। मैंने बोला था कि हर स्टूडेंट के पास ये सारी डिटेल्स तो होंगी, भले ही इनकी वैल्यू डिफरेंट होंगी। तो कौन कौन सी वैल्यूज होंगी, मैं यहाँ पे सिर्फ वो बता रहा हूँ कि यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट नाम का जो ऑब्जेक्ट होगा, प्रोडक्ट नाम का जो भी चीज होगा, जिसका नाम, जिसका टाइप क्या है, प्रोडक्ट है, उसके पास हमेशा एक आईडी, हमेशा एक नेम होगा, हमेशा एक प्राइस होगा, तो उसके पास ये सारी चीजें होंगी ही होंगी। अगर कोई ऐसी चीज में से चीज नहीं होगी ना, तो ये हमें एरर देगा कि इस वाले प्रोडक्ट के पास ये वाली चीज मिसिंग।
तो कहने का मतलब आपने पहले इसको डिफाइन कर दिया कि ये चीज होनी चाहिए इसमें, और अपन अजम्पशन लेके चल रहे हैं।
करेक्ट।
ओके।
तो मैंने यहाँ पे स्ट्रक्चर डिफाइन कर दिया, मुझे स्ट्रक्चर को यूज करना है, तो मैं वापस प्रोडक्ट्स वाले पे आता हूँ और यहाँ पे एक नया वेरिएबल बनाता हूँ प्रोडक्ट्स। जिसका टाइप क्या होगा, जिसका टाइप होगा प्रोडक्ट, जो हमने अभी एक क्लास बनाई है वो उसका टाइप होगा। तो यहाँ पे देखो ऑटोमेटिकली इंपोर्ट हो गया वो। और मैंने बोला कि ये एरे होगा। एरे क्या होता है? एरे होता है group of similar elements, group of similar data. For example, we are array, we are human beings, we have a name, we have a mobile, we have email. Similarly, we have said that there will be products of, there will be array of products, there will be group of similar things. Okay, that is defined by square brackets. In coding language, square bracket defines arrays. So we have said that there will be product type array. Okay, now I'm giving it a random values. I'm creating random products. Like there will be a product having ID 1. There will be name having P1. There will be price having 10. Okay, now this will give us error. Why? Because it's saying that property quantity is missing, because we have said the type of this object would be what? Product. And we have assumed that product will definitely have a quantity with it. So that's why it's giving me error. That's where the TypeScript plays a role. If I was using JavaScript, I will not be getting this error because there is no type checking. And when we are building humongous kind of application having humongous number of features, in those scenarios, this lot of times create problems because many a times one developer who develop one function may not be knowing that what other developer will think that this function gonna do. To solve this problem, TypeScript was introduced, and this is the problem that the TypeScript is solving over here. Okay, now I have to add a quantity over here. Okay, now it is not giving me error because the type of the product is complete now. Let me just copy this up and paste it 2-3 times so that we can have multiple products over here as of now. Okay, now great. Now, what I do is, now what we know is that there are multiple products. Now, when we have multiple products, it means it can be 10 products, 100 products, 10,000 products. The products count will keep on changing. And because of which, we also have to keep adding the HTML of it. When a new product, add a new HTML to show that, add a new row to show those things, right? So to resolve that problem, to resolve that issue, what we're going to be doing over here is we're going to be creating a new component, and for every product, we're going to be calling that component. So how to generate a component, we already know: ng, g, c, and name of the component. I will want to create a component in the components folder, so I will write a name of the folder first: components slash let's say product card.
सो सर ये इसमें जीसी का क्या यूजेज जो 25 बाइट्स में भी लिखा हुआ है?
मैंने कल भी बताया था, जी स्टैंड फॉर जनरेट, सी स्टैंड फॉर कंपोनेंट। शॉर्ट फॉर्म में लिखा है मैंने। आप इसको
ओके।
कैपिटल फुल फॉर्म में भी लिख सकते हो।
अच्छा, मतलब दोनों तरीके से कर सकते हैं, फुल फॉर्म में भी और शॉर्ट फॉर्म में भी।
हाँ, मैंने पहले फुल फॉर्म में करके दिखाया था आपको, और मैंने कहा इतना लंबा नहीं लिखते, उसको शॉर्ट फॉर्म में करते हैं, तो मैंने शॉर्ट फॉर्म में लिखना चाहिए।
ओके सर, ओके ओके।
Okay, now a new component is added called product card, and it has updated a module.ts as well. That's great. Let's see what is the HTML contained in the product card. It's saying product card works. Okay, let's use it. Now over here, this is one row, right? Now what do we do? Now for every row, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this card. Okay, so I will create a new div, and inside this div, I will write a for loop. What is a for loop does? For means do it in a predefined times. Do a certain task number of times. For let's say hello 3 times. Hello, hello, hello. So that is what for does. So in the Angular, it's an environment, so it has its for as well. So over here, for writing a for loop, what do we actually have to do is we have to say star ng for. Here, I will say let product of products. Let product of products. Now, what does it means? It means there will be an array of products. It means there will be an array of products. Array means group of similar elements, group of products. And let's say there will be one product of it. From 10 products, let's say there is one product. From 10 products, let's say there is one product. Then what to do with that product? Write it inside this. With that product, please call app product card. Let's save it up and let's see what will happen. And G sir will start the project. Okay, now see the output. Oh, what happened? Since we have four products in our products array, since we have four products in our products array, what it has done is it has called our new component called product card how many times? Four times. We have not used till now we have not used product of products, but what it has done is it has called the product every element for every product in the group of products. Is these three lines clear, everyone? Yes or no?
Sir, last line, last code I unable to understood.
Okay. So now let's say I want to tell the computer. Let's say I want to tell the computer, hey computer, say hello to me three times. Say hello to me three times. So what will computer do? Computer will say hello, hello, hello. Okay. That's what even I want to do over here as well. I want to say call product card. Call that component for every product. Call that component for every product. How many products we have? We have four products. So it will say that it will call that component how many times? Four times. That's what we have written over here. It's saying, hey ng for it tells we have to do certain task number of times. Let's say there is an array called products, and for every product inside that products, for every product, see there is no s, there is s over here. I'm renaming, I'm giving a variable. Let's say there for every a of products a, I'm giving a random name for every a from that students, from every a of that a group of student. Let x, हम लोग स्कूल में मैथ्स में करते let x be a variable, let a be the variable. Here we're just giving it a name. In coding we give name so that the name can specify me the meaning of that word. So that's why I give it a name product. From that product, from that products, call what? Call do what? Do this thing. Do this thing. That's what I have written in these three lines. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to pass the product, this product to the child. I want to pass the information from the parent to the child. Okay, that's the task I'm giving you guys. 5 minutes. We have done this task yesterday as well. How to pass the information from the parent to the child. I guess you guys already know about it or not. Saket, the rest of the people I've seen first time, so I don't think so. But Saket was there. He's doing the task. Saket, do you know how to do it? Yes. Okay. For the rest of the people, what I can do is just pray the God for 5-10 minutes because I have to give you guys time to try out first. So what you guys have to do is you have to pass product from the parent to the child, like we used to do in the last class. From the parent to the child, we have passed the information of total and products count. We have passed this information from the parent to the child like this over here. The same thing you have to do it over here as well in the products. You have to pass the product from the products array to the product card. Okay, I'm giving you guys 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes on this problem, and for the rest of the people, I don't know what you guys can do. Google it out how to do what is NG4 and how to pass the information from the parent and child. Start reading about it, and let's wait for the 5 minutes. Hurry up, guys. Raise a hand, whoever done it, so that we can see the screen, and then we will be moving forward. Yeah, you will be seeing my code na first. Okay. So I am over here. I am sharing the screen. Okay. Let me know if any other screen you want to see.
सर इसमें क्लासेस ऑलरेडी पहले से बनी हुई होती है क्या? ये जैसे ऊपर या फिर अपन अपने उससे भी लिख सकते हैं?
हमने अभी लिखी तो सही, प्रोडक्ट की क्लास लिखी तो थी, हमने फाइल बनाई प्रोडक्ट की
नहीं
यूजिंग
नहीं,
एनपी।
अभी आपने एक सेकंड वो ओपन करना, फाइल जो अभी ओपन करी थी ये वाली, इसके अंदर यहाँ आपने लिखा है ना div क्लास इक्वल टू रो रो col, इस वाले का पूछ रहा
ये
हूँ मैं।
तो बूटस्ट्रैप है ना, ये तो अभी कॉपी किया हमने, आपके सामने कॉपी किया यहाँ से, यहाँ पे बूटस्ट्रैप में ओपन किया था, कॉपी किया था।
कहाँ से किया है? यहाँ तो ये तो दूसरी फाइल है ओपन।
यहाँ पे मैंने रो सर्च किया था, रो कॉलम्स लेटर मिला था मुझे, और मैंने यहाँ से एग्जैक्टली यहाँ से कोड कॉपी किया मैंने। अंडरस्टूड? क्लियर ऋतिक?
यस सर। सर एक मिनट, वो कोड वापस ओपन करना, मैं नोट कर लेता हूँ इनको।
कौन सा कोड?
वो जो कोड था ना, अभी ओपन किया था आपने फाइल्स।
ये
नहीं नहीं, वो जहाँ से अपन जहाँ पे कोड लिख रहे थे ना वीएस कोड में।
ये तो मैंने ओपन करा हुआ है।
नहीं, आपने क्लोज कर दिया वापस।
ओके।
यस सर, अब ओपन है। सर इनकी वर्कशॉप के हमें नोट्स भी मिलेंगे क्या?
नो। यस सर्किट डन।
सर आपने वो स्क्रीन शेयर ऑफ कर दी है, एक मिनट वो ओपन कर दीजिए।
Okay. Now let me teach you guys again how to do it. So for that, what we have to do is we have to go to the child component first, and we have to tell the child component that you should accept one input, you should accept one parameter to it. So I will say at the rate input. It will give me a call for require that we have to import it first. So it will be auto import, and I will say that you will accept what? You will accept what product. That what will be the type of it? The type of this would be product, that class that we have created that will be automatically imported, and we have saved it. Has no initializer, so let's say initialize it. Mhm. Okay, now see, we are getting one new kind of problem over here. It's saying that type this is missing, means it definitely should have one property. It should definitely have property. But what I want is that there may be a possible chance that when there is no information of that product, there is empty product in that scenario. So we have to modify the class so that it should accept this problem. For that, I will go to the class and I will add a exclamation mark over here that this is a optional parameter. This is a optional parameter. If it doesn't come, there is no issue. It's not doing so. Yeah, when I do this, I don't need to initialize it. So I will just remove it from here and we are good to go. Hmm, okay, this time is missing property, missing the following properties. But I have added this, so now it should not need any property. Okay, it's still requiring it, so let's say new product. Okay, now we have created an empty product over here. Since we have created an empty product over here, we have to send it. We have told the child component that you will have an input, but we have to send that input from the parent to the child as well. So we will come to the parent of it and we will pass the information. Here we will say that there will be product, which will be equal to what? Product of this array. Okay, let's see what do we receive. So we will go to the child component HTML file, and over here let's see what do we have. So we will just put this and let's print what we have received. So we will come over here and let's check. So we are getting object and object. Okay, let's say product dot name. Are we able to see the name or not? Let's save it up, and we are able to see the name, means we are receiving the information from the parent to the child. Now we just need to do what? We just need to apply the CSS set so that it can be look good. It will be visible to us the way we want to. Okay, so should I give you guys time to do it or should I do it myself? That would be the task. Hmm. Okay, let me give you guys 5 minutes. Okay, let me show you what I want as output, final output, and what you guys have to do it for that. Let's see, are you guys able to write the HTML of it or not? Okay, so we can see the name, we can see the price like this, the way we want to. Okay, but let me just give you guys the final output that I want. So I will open the project, the sample project that I shown you in the yesterday's class. And can you replicate that same thing over here as or not? Let's see. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me open that project first. I'm just opening it, finding out where it is exactly. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so I will show you the output and you have to match that output. Everything is available on the Bootstrap website. You just need to find out the exact thing that you were searching for, and then you just need to copy and paste the code to get it. Okay, so do not hesitate, guys, in that. Okay, the project is starting. Okay, so let me open it. Okay, so this is the information, the way you have to show me. Okay, what you have is you have all the thing. You have product name, price, quantity, and total. Okay, you have to convert that information to look something like this. Along with this, you also need to add a button over here for deleting the product. Okay, the all the things, the border, the text, the buttons, this colors, everything is ready-made copy and paste you have to do from the Bootstrap file. Okay, even the button over here, everything is available. Okay, so you have to turn this information. Okay, this is also reloaded itself. So you have to turn that information in your old project to look something like this. Understood? For example, you want these things, these three buttons, right? What you will search, let's say, I will say three buttons. Let's see, what do we get? We got a button screen over here. Okay, let's see. Does this has what we are looking for? Nope. Let's say there is something called button group. Okay, this is similar, but colors are not exactly same. Let's scroll down. Okay, so this is the exact thing I'm looking for. So I will just copy the things and paste it and turn the things as per my requirement. Okay, understood. I'm giving you guys 10 minutes to make this row like look something like this. Okay, then I will do it myself as well, and you will find out that I'm just copying the exact things from the table and pasting it over there and just changing the things. Okay, textual things, not the CSS part. Okay, so people who are not comfortable with the CSS, who doesn't know the CSS, that's what Bootstrap does for us. Bootstrap does done the stuff itself. So we just need to correctly search the things out of it, correctly find out what exactly we are looking for, and then we just need to copy and paste it, and it will do the rest of the magic itself. Okay, I'm giving you guys 10 minutes for it. Okay, hurry up. We have plenty of time, so don't worry. Okay, we just need to write the CSS part of it, then we are left with the logical part of increment, decrement, submit, total, grand total. Everything is a logical part that we will do in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That is the amount of time that will take. So let's give it a challenge to you guys. Okay, make this row from this file. We already have, you have to write the entire code over here in this product card dot component or HTML, nowhere else. Okay, so I'm giving you guys 10 minutes. Try to write down the code over here. Let's see how far you guys can do, and then I will write it myself as well. Okay, raise a hand once done. I will be on the output screen. Okay, and let me know if there is any doubt or any confusion over here.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Who's asking?
Sir, Suraj here.
Hmm.
Actually, what happened, like, I'm half an hour later because of traffic, so I just missed all the, like, starting points. Could you please, like, tell me, or, like, what are the codes? Could you please paste once again?
Okay. So what we have done is today we started with creating two more components over here. One is called product and another one is product card. How to generate a component? For that we just need to write what? ng gc components folder because we are generating the components in the components file. So we are gonna write that and then products for generating the products and for products card we will say product card. The new thing that I have introduced today is class. Why we are using class is to define a structure over here so that we can use that structure everywhere. We don't need to create every time a new variable for using that. We can groups similar properties together, relatable properties together under one common name. That is what the definition of class says. Okay, so for that we have a command called ng g class, and then I want a new folder called models. Inside that I want to write the create this model. So I will say models, then I will write product. Okay, so it will generate me one more file called models folder called product.ts. In the product.ts, we have generated a class and we have written the code, this one, stating that every product there will be ID, there will be name, there will be price, there will be quantity. Okay, till now any doubt, Suraj?
No, sir. Yes, sir, I got it. Like,
Okay.
till
Then
this.
in products card, what we were doing is we were trying to create a table. So in the HTML of it, we have written uh, CSS HTML from the Bootstrap. Product.component dot html. We have pasted this code for creating the structure for us. Okay, this is last two lines are not complete, so I'm pasting it again. Okay, so basically this contains table that there will be columns of this name and there will be an array of products. For every array, we are calling a component called product card. Okay, so this is what the HTML says of products. Any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now in the product.ts file, we have created a array of products uh, so that we can use that product in the product card. So in product.compo.ts, we have pasted this thing so that we have products for every product card. Now coming to the product card. In the product card, I have given a task to write the HTML, and in the product card component, we have created an input product card component.ts. We have stated that there will be an input of type product or class that we have created, and you have to write the HTML for it so that it can look something like this. That's what we have done till now. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So like in class, whatever the like variables we have taken, right? ID, name, price, and quantity.
Hmm.
So based on that only, we make some one like it's a JSON format kind of thing, sir,
Yeah,
right?
we are defining a JSON structure that of every product will look something like this. In
Okay.
TypeScript, we have to define it because in JavaScript we can do it anywhere. We can add a quantity, we can delete one, property, we can add new property. There is no problem. But in TypeScript, we do type checking. So for type, we have to define the type. What will be the type of it? What will be the kind of data it will be storing? So that's why it is important to define a class interfaces in the Angular in TypeScript, not in JavaScript, and that's what we have done over here as well.
Okay.
It's
Yes,
not
yeah. Thank you.
it's not necessary when we are dealing with JavaScript, but it's compulsory when we are dealing with TypeScript.
So like ID and there is a one like sign like and
Yeah,
colon and number. So why
so
it
that
is?
exclamation mark basically specify that this property is not necessary. If there is no property called ID, it's completely fine. There is no problem. But if it is there, then the ID will have a type called number. It's not necessary property. Why I'm doing this exclamation mark, I will tell you when we will be adding a new product. When we are adding a new product, we don't know ID yet because we don't, this particular component will not know how many products are there, right? Since it does not know how many products are there, it cannot provide ID to it, right? It cannot uniquely provide identification. Like for example, you have a ID, you have a ID, you have Aadhaar card number, you have a driving license number that is unique to you, right? So over here also there will be ID that will be unique to every product, but this form does not know what will be the ID of a new product that you are adding. So that is not a compulsory property, but it will be there in the future. Okay, it's not there as of now when we are creating a new product, but when we are adding that product to the array of products, then there will be ID. So that's why we have put the exclamation mark. For now, we have put it everywhere. But when we will be done with the form part, then I will remove the ID from the name, price, quantity, because those are necessary. But ID will be added later on by the computer itself, not by the human beings, not by the user. Understood? What does the exclamation sign do?
Okay.
It's
Yes, sir.
specified that this is not a compulsory property, but if we don't put it, then it is required. Without this, it will not help us to create product of the new variable called product. I will show you little later.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone completed? Are you guys able to make this row? Anyone? No one? No problem. Let me do it on my screen now. So I will start the project over here. Let me stop it first over here. And let me start it again. And let's see where we are. And close the files that are not required. Okay, so first of all, I will come over here. That is also not required. Over here, I will copy this structure because here it is predefined that there will be name, price, quantity. Okay, width of that is already predefined. So I will use this one over here. So I will remove it. I will add it over here. Instead of product name, I will put two curly brackets and I will say product dot name. Okay, then over here again, product dot price. In the quantity, we will do something different, but in the total, it will be product dot price into product dot quantity. Okay, let's save it up. Let's see how does it look. Coming back over here, and we are able to see something like this. That's great. Now, in the quantity part, in the quantity, we have to add increment, decrement, and all those things that we will be copying from the bootstrap. So over here, we have the div to do so. So we will just come over here, copy this div from the button group and add it over here. Instead of the left, we will say minus, and instead of right, we will add plus. And in the middle, we will say that this is product dot quantity. And let's see how does it look. Coming back over here, and it's looking something like this. That's good, interesting enough. Next we want is that, okay, it is also refreshed. Next thing we want is we want to add borders and everything. So let's do it. Over here, we need to add a border, right? So how can we add a border? Let's search it up over here. Border. We want all the border, so we will add a class border to it. Okay, we want to define the width of the border. Remove borders. Okay, color of the border we don't need. We want black only. Uh, okay, this is interesting that we can go with. So third one we can go. Background info, opacity, this, border info, border start 0, rounded end. Okay, let's add this thing to our row as well. Let's see how does it look. Okay, interesting enough, but problem is that there is no line over here, so we need to remove one class of it stating border start 0. We will remove it so that we will have all around the borders perfectly fine. Let's add margin and padding. Margin 3, M-3 stands for margin. We will have margin as well now. Uh, Anything else you guys wanted to be done? We can increase the border width. Okay, border class is repeating, so let's move the border from here. We already have border over here. Okay, we can define the width, opacity, example. Width of the border is there, and we can say border 3 that we need to add so that we can increase the width of it. Okay, seems nice enough. Okay, so this is what I have done till now. Anyone has any doubts on it? Everyone clear regarding the HTML, CSS part over here? Anyone, any doubt?
Yes, sir.
सर इसमें अगर अपन को बॉर्डर को दूसरी चेंज चाहिए हो जैसे डॉटेड या फिर ग्रूव, तो वो भी हो सकता है क्या इसमें?
बिल्कुल हो सकता है, यहाँ पे सर्च करो मिल जाएंगे वो भी। सर्च करते हैं डॉटेड बॉर्डर। नहीं मिल रहा, तो फिर हम लोगों को खुद ही ऐड करना पड़ेगा। चलो वो भी ऐड कर लेते हैं, एक क्लास ऐड करते हैं बॉर्डर स्टाइल। ओके, बॉर्डर स्टाइल का CSS लिख लेते हैं, यहाँ पे आते हैं डॉट बॉर्डर स्टाइल। ओके, बॉर्डर स्टाइल डैश्ड कर देते हैं यहाँ पे। लेट्स सी। ओके, कमिंग बैक ओवर हियर, it's not applied. Is the class name correct? Mm, okay. Border style apply तो होना चाहिए। बॉर्डर कलर देखते हैं। हमारे डिफॉल्ट CSS अप्लाई करने दे नहीं रही है, बट करना तो देना चाहिए। Hmm, अगर मैं इसको कट करूं।
सर लेकिन उसको आपने आई थिंक वो डॉट CSS फाइल से सेव नहीं किया।
हाँ, वो तो ऑटोमेटिकली सेव्ड है ना, वो तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्रिएट हो जाती है फाइल।
अच्छा।
ये फाइल तो 4 फाइल्स मैंने बताई थी, जिसमें से एक फाइल CSS की बनती थी, एक HTML बनती थी, एक TS बनती थी, और एक टेस्टिंग के लिए बनती थी। टेस्टिंग वाले तुम छेड़ेंगे नहीं, बट CSS अप्लाई नहीं हो रही। बट maybe we have to remove some of the classes. Background opacity, row column. Why border 3, border style. If we remove it, if we remove these 3, then it should work, I guess. Still, our border style is not applied. Border 10 pixels, solid black. Now solid light blue. Instead of solid, let's change it to dotted. Dotted, instead of dotted, let's go with dashed. Okay, and instead of 10 pixels, I guess 5 is more than enough. Okay, this is what you get. Border radius, let's add a border radius first. 20 pixels more than enough for rounded borders. Perfectly fine. Okay, understood, clear? Whoever,
यस सर।
because of the sum of the properties of the border, it is not applying our CSS. Anyways, that's resolved. This is no need. Okay, now let's try to change the quantity so that we can see the total is working or not properly, or there's problem. Quantity Let's add 10 to it. Okay, so total we are getting over here as well. Okay, now this is done. Next we have to add is a form stating that we need to add enterprise name, product, quantity, and add it to the list of this products. Okay, so let's add that component first. So ngGC add product. Okay, so we got a new component over here saying, oh, okay, we have not stated the folder, so it has created outside of it. So let's just remove it, or let's just shift it to the inside of it. And we need to update the address. Oh, we need to update the address over here as well. Okay, it has updated itself that it's in the component product. That's great. Okay, now we just need to call it over here. Above the app products, we will call app add product. Let's see. Let's start the project. Ng sir. We have not changed anything in this now. Oh, we have. Uh, okay, the project has started, and let's reload it. And we are able to see the app product box over here. Now we just need to add a form over here to make it work. Now I'm giving you guys time to do it, or should I continue? Let me continue. Otherwise, I don't think anyone is doing or giving it a try. So let's see. We need to add a product. So we need a form, and for form, we need to give it a space so that it will add a form having name, price, and name, price, and quantity. The submit button. So let's come to the HTML of it, and over here in the HTML part, let's start with div having class container, so that it will have predefined. What do we say? Uh, predefined classes. Next, we're gonna have is a form tag. Uh, okay, we got closing tag as well now. With this, let's do it in a row so that we will have a class row over here. And over here, we need to we need to add the inputs, right? So let's have it. Let's create a div for it so that we can just copy and paste it up. And let's give it a class having column 3. 3 column will be the width of it. And over here, let's add a label. Okay, label stating product name. Um, let's give it a let's search even. What do we search for? Forms. Forms. Form. Let's see. Okay, here we got it. So we just need this one. Label input, and we are good to go. Okay, let's just copy this up. Even let's copy the complete thing. Okay, let's add it over here and just define a width call 3. That this is example input product name. uh, product name. Type of this will be text. People who know HTML, I guess they know what I mean by this. Okay, input name, product name. Uh, yeah, this is not needed. Uh, this is also not needed. Next, how does it look? And then we will just copy this up. Interesting enough. We will just copy this for the price and quantity. Price, price, number, price, quantity, quantity, number, quantity. Let's see. Okay, interesting enough. The rest thing left is a button. There is a button. We have it. Okay, let's see what do we get. Uh, call 3. Okay, we got it over here. Some button. Okay, let's just do minor tweaks to look it interesting. Okay, now we have added a form. So, anyone has any doubts on it till now? Anyone? Okay, let me give you guys time because now after this, only logical part we have to do. HTML, CSS part, boring stuff is done. So I am putting the CSS of HTML of this as well in the chat. Please type it out because if you type only, then you will see here are there doubts and queries. Otherwise, it will be all in black. Okay, so this is add product HTML and coming back to the product.com product card HTML. Let me share that as well in the chat for you guys. Okay, so I have shared. This is not complete. Hold on. Okay, product card is not complete. So I'm sharing it again. The second half of that. Please be careful. Okay, people who are doing the code with me, please raise a hand once done. I'm here giving you guys 15 minutes to cover it up because our HTML part is done, CSS part is done. There is nothing more inside it. Rest of the part is what a front-end developer actually do. Rest of the part is what actual Angular thing that we're gonna be doing over here. This thing till now is what you're gonna get from a UI developer. If there is a UI developer with you, you will get this page looking something like this. There will be sample products, there will be dummy data, dummy values. Okay, but you have to turn those dummy values like 3, like total over here, or increment, decrement quantity over here, or submit values over here to make it work. That will be what a front-end developer gonna do, and that's from where we're gonna be doing. Okay, so I have shared the code of the HTML part. If there is anything else required, please let.
सर अभी ये क्या वर्क नहीं कर रहा है क्या ये क्वांटिटी और ये सब
नहीं, ये खोखला है, सब खाली है, अभी तो लॉजिक लिखा ही नहीं ना इसका तो।
अच्छा
अभी तक हमने सिर्फ HTML CSS लिखा,
ओके
अभी हम
एक बार
इसको
वो HTML वाली फाइल ओपन करना
कौन से कंपोनेंट की।
ये इसके अंदर ये जो अपन ने डिव अलग अलग बनाई ये सारा ही अपन ने उसमें से कॉपी पेस्ट किया ना टिल प्रोडक्ट क्वांटिटी तक
हाँ,
ओके
बूटस्ट्रैप का मेन पर्पस यही होता है कि आपको CSS लिखनी नहीं पड़े। People like me who काफी आलस आता है सीएसएस लिखने में, तो उन लोगों के लिए बूटस्ट्रैप डेवलप हुआ है. देयर इज बूटस्ट्रैप, देयर इज मटेरियल यूआई, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ टूल्स दैट आर अवेलेबल टू मेक द सीएसएस इजी फॉर यू. Even there are tools like ChatGPT. There is something other tool is there where you just need to upload the picture you want, and it will give you the complete CSS. So you don't have to waste time on writing the CSS part of it, and that's why we are using CSS over here as well, so that we can complete this card project in 2 days, in 5 hours, 6 hours that we got, along with introduction, theory, and everything. That's what the purpose of using Bootstrap over here. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Main purpose of the Bootstrap is to copy and paste. Over here in the Bootstrap also you will find there is a copy button everywhere, so that you don't need to select and copy as well. Hurry up guys, raise a hand once you are with me, because after this I will do changes in different files, small changes in different files, but lot of files will gonna affect from that small change. Okay, we have done till now one-way data binding. After this we will start with two-way reverse binding, means from child to parent. That way we will cover two-way data binding of the Angular. Okay, so hurry up guys, giving you guys 15 minutes is 21. We will start at what, 36? Okay. Yeah, it's common, Saket. It's common practice. Even not from the internet, there is something called Figma. When you wanna work, when you wanna start working on the companies, stable companies, there will be something called UED, user experience developers. So they will develop uh, pictures of the photos of the software on a software called Figma. Okay, this is good software. Apart from this, there are multiple software. But on India, I can say 90% of the companies use this software called Figma. And what it actually does is it develops the images. And when they develop the images, now they will also provide you the CSS as well too. Okay, over here there will be you will just select one button now. Over here that it will look something like this tree. From this screen you will go to this screen. From this screen you will go to this screen. Then if you click any one of the screen, then all the properties, CSS, name of the classes that you have to give to that particular button, that is also going to be visible over here straight away. You just need to copy and paste. User experience is the one that will write these things for you, not the UI as well. UI will just make it responsive. User experience will not make it responsive. UI will make it responsive. That is for designing different scene sizes.
तो
That
सर ये भी क्या बिल्कुल फोटोशॉप की तरह वर्क करता है क्या?
फोटोशॉप से एडवांस है ये. फोटोशॉप इसके आगे कुछ नहीं है. फोटोशॉप में आप सिर्फ लोगो डिजाइन करते हो. इसमें आप बेसिकली कंप्यूटर की स्क्रीन को डेवलप करते हो कि कौन सा बटन कहाँ पे आएगा. ये अगर रीलोडिंग का साइन यहाँ पे है तो रीलोडिंग का साइन यहाँ पे क्यों है, कैसा दिखेगा, वो एक्चुअल चीजें आप यहाँ पे लिखते हो. मल्टीपल लोग एक साथ, जैसे यहाँ पे जोनस काम कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे कोई और काम कर रहा है, और साथ साथ वो लिख रहा है, यहाँ पे डिफाइन करता जा रहा है. और जब मैं इस पे क्लिक करूंगा तो मुझे इसका पूरा CSS लिखा आ जाएगा. जो लाइंस दिख रही है आपको, ये बूटस्ट्रैप की लाइंस है. जब बूटस्ट्रैप आप डिटेल में रीड करोगे तो आपको फाइंड आउट होगा कि बूटस्ट्रैप करता क्या है कि कंप्लीट स्क्रीन को 12 कॉलम्स में डिवाइड कर देता है. अगर आपने यहाँ पे देखा हो ध्यान से, मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ कॉलम 4. कॉलम 4 का क्या मतलब है कि बूटस्ट्रैप ने पूरी स्क्रीन को 12 कॉलम्स में डिवाइड कर दिया. तो जब एक कॉलम का साइज आया ना, तो उसके 4 कॉलम आपको लेने हैं. मतलब 12 में से 4 कॉलम इसके होंगे, 3 कॉलम इसके होंगे, 2 कॉलम इसके होंगे. तो दैट्स व्हाट दोस लाइन्स सिग्निफाई. Like that, there are different syntaxes over here, different screens. This is a mobile screen. They are developing mobile apps. So on mobile, there will be menu from here. Prototype, अगर आपने सुना हो word, there is prototype. Cars का prototype बनाया जाता है. ऐसी
अच्छा,
computer.
तो एक तरीके से मतलब एक प्रोटोटाइप तैयार कर देगा इसका कि अगर बिफोर गिविंग टू द डेवलपर के इस
हाँ
तरीके से दिखेगा ये.
हाँ, और वो उसमें डमी डेटा होगा. ये सारा डमी डेटा है. वन आप इस पर प्लस क्लिक करोगे तो इंक्रीज नहीं करेगा. ये सिर्फ बटन है दिखाने. उसको वर्क करवाएगा फ्रंट एंड डेवलपर. देखो यहाँ पे पूरा CSS लिखा आ रहा है कि इसकी इतनी विड्थ होगी, इसका ये साइज होगा, हर चीज लिखी आएगी. ये रहा
तो अब ये
CSS.
CSS को हमको कॉपी पेस्ट करना हो तो
सिर्फ आपको कॉपी पेस्टिंग का ही बटन होगा यहाँ पे. कॉपी, ये तो मैं आपको डेमो दिखा रहा हूँ ना इस वेबसाइट पे. जब आप लॉग इन करोगे आपको यहाँ पे कॉपी का बटन आ जाएगा, बस कॉपी करके आप अपने CSS में पेस्ट करना। दैट्स
अच्छा अच्छा,
दिस
तो ये
इज अ
बिल्कुल ऐसा का ऐसा वर्क करेगा।
हाँ, बिल्कुल ऐसा का ऐसा ही दिखाएगा वो। इवन इसमें आप अलग अलग ब्राउजर्स के हिसाब से अलग अलग कोडिंग भी कर सकते हो, कोड कह रहा हूँ, अलग अलग स्क्रीन डिजाइन भी होती है इसमें। अलग अलग मोबाइल्स के हिसाब से स्क्रीन डिजाइन होती है, एप्पल का अलग, एंड्रॉयड का अलग, नोट नॉच के साथ अलग, विद पंच होल कैमरा के साथ अलग। जैसे ये पंच होल कैमरे का डिजाइन है, तो इसमें पंच होल कैमरा आपको दिखा रहा है, तो पंच होल के साथ आप डिजाइन करना चाहते हो, नॉच के साथ डिजाइन करना चाहते हो, तो हर एक का स्क्रीन आपको विजिबल रहेगा, हर एक का स्क्रीन साइज आपको अवेलेबल रहेगा। आपको बस ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप करते हुए बनाते जाना है। दैट्स अ रोल ऑफ अ यूआई डेवलपर, यूई डेवलपर, यूजर एक्सपीरियंस।
ओके, तो इसमें इसमें मतलब कि क्या बोलते हैं, ये केवल CSS का ही बनवाता है बनाता है, या फिर और भी कोई दूसरी प्रोग्रामिंग का?
इसमें प्रोग्रामिंग होती ही नहीं है
नहीं,
इसमें।
बट आप बता रहे हैं ना, जैसे यहाँ पे प्रोग्रामिंग दिखा रहा है ये, जैसे CSS का पूरा कोड दिखा दिया।
अपने आप लिखी आएगी, वो फिग्मा खुद करे। आप
अच्छा, वो
जब
बैकएंड में अपने आप हो रहा है काम।
हाँ, जब आप किसी चीज को उठा के कहीं पे रखोगे, वो खुद साथ साथ लिखता चला जाएगा उसको।
अच्छा अच्छा
इसको कोडिंग जॉब नहीं है, ये डिजाइनिंग की जॉब है। कहने को इजी लगती है, बट बहुत मेहनत वाला काम है ये।
अच्छा।
सिर्फ एक स्क्रीन बनाने के लिए, एक स्क्रीन अपने मैनेजर को पसंद करवाने के लिए एक बार डेवलपर्स को 10 स्क्रीन बनानी पड़ती है। कहीं पे कुछ कलर चेंज कर देंगे, कहीं पे कुछ कलर चेंज करके दिखाएंगे कि आपको कौन सा अच्छा लग रहा है। फिर जैसे मेरी लास्ट कंपनी में क्या होता था, वो हम लोग के यूजर्स जो होते थे, वो डायरेक्टली हम लोग के ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे बैठते थे, तो यूआई डेवलपर्स एक स्क्रीन लेके जाते थे। आप देख, वो जो उसका एंड टाइम यूजर है उसके पास लेके जाते थे कि आपको ये स्क्रीन कैसी लग रही है, हाउ आर यू एबल टू टच दिस बटन और नॉट, व्हाट डू यू थिंक दिस बटन गोना डू। दैट इज अ रोल ऑफ अ यूआई डेवलपर। It looks easy, but it is not actually. You have to be very creative. And this is the person who will be giving you the CSS, HTML most of the time. Here it is selecting this, so rest of the things will be coming over here side by side. If you click on, a desktop, then it will show you the desktop screen. If you change it to mobile screen, then it will show you how it will look in mobile. Everything will be done in this software.
तो ये केवल एक यही सॉफ्टवेयर आता है इसके लिए,
नहीं,
UX
इसके
UI के
अलावा
लिए?
और भी सॉफ्टवेयर है, बट इंडिया में 90% ऑफ द कंपनीज यूज दिस सॉफ्टवेयर।
ओके, और वो इसमें बूटस्ट्रैप के अलावा भी और कोई होता है केवल बूटस्ट्रैप ही चलता है इसमें CSS
इसमें
के लिए?
ये CSS देता है आपको, बूटस्ट्रैप नहीं देता। बूटस्ट्रैप यूई डेवलपर अपने यूज के लिए यूज करते हैं, अपने ईज के लिए।
नहीं, ये तो आपने UX इसके लिए बताया, बट वो जो बूटस्ट्रैप में अपन कर रहे थे ना अभी, कोड कॉपी पेस्ट का काम,
हम्म।
इसके लिए पूछ रहा हूँ मैं कि केवल एक यही होता है क्या
नहीं
बूटस्ट्रैप?
नहीं, बहुत सारे हैं ये भी। देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड मटेरियल डिजाइन, मटेरियल यूआई। दिस इज वेरी फेमस फॉर द रिएक्ट डेवलपमेंट। इसमें
अच्छा
आपको कंप्लीट स्क्रीन्स, कंप्लीट डैशबोर्ड ही मिल जाते हैं बने बने। ओके, देन देयर इज बूटस्ट्रैप 5 is there. Bootstrap design. Bootstrap, the word is company starts with bootstrap, but there is different bootstrap design or something. Bootstrap made, bootstrap dash, I guess. Uh, Bootstrap dash. This is again made from the bootstrap only, but there are ready-made templates available.
तो इसमें हर प्रोग्रामिंग के हैं ये, या केवल इसके
Yes, HTML
CSS?
CSS देगा. That's it. Nothing else.
अच्छा
Complete dashboard is ready. You just need to copy and paste and change the things as per your need.
ओके।
Bootstrap is quite old. I don't know how you guys don't know about it, but it's almost a decade old, more than a decade even. It's nothing new. Okay,
नहीं, एक्चुअली बूटस्ट्रैप तो मैंने यूज किया हुआ है, लेकिन ये कुछ एक दो नाम आपने नए बताए ना, इसका मेरे को नहीं था आइडिया।
okay.
तो ये इसमें रिएक्ट वाले में क्या क्या होता है?
React वाले में मटेरियल डिजाइन होता है। Material UI, material design is also one more company, I guess. Yeah, material design is there. M3 material. This is different from material UI. Okay, but the work of this is also same. Just copy and paste. And there is one more company apart from these two. I'm not properly remembering the name, but yeah, these two are famous ones that are generally used by developers.
ओके, तो ये वाला किस लिए यूज आता है, मटेरियल डिजाइन वाला?
That's interesting, Saket. You must be good in the Python then. Sorry, yeah, Ritik.
सर ये मटेरियल डिजाइन वाला ये जो बताया, ये किस में यूज में आता है ये?
Same, designing,
अच्छा,
copy.
ओके। ओके ओके।
Yeah, backend developers generally write the code. They copy the logics, algorithms, but they write the code because they have their personalized demands. For example, I am in fintech, so I have to write lots of logics for the shares, for bonds, a lot of different things. So that is usually not present or not easily available online. So many times I have to design my own algorithms and everything. So it's very common for the backend developer to write the code more often as compared to the front end developer. That's why you will find out that majority of the CTOs are technically from the backend rather than from the front end, because front end is quite open. Everything is available online. Got it. And that's how you want. Yeah. Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay. Hurry up, guys. 5 minutes more. Please complete the code, then we will move forward, because now onwards we will start with Angular logics, complete with the uh, CSS part, HTML CSS part.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Suraj.
सर जो आपने फर्स्ट जो कोड सेंड किया था ना
Hmm.
418 को, तो उसमें सर आई थिंक हाफ ही कोड आया। सर एक बार
कौन
प्लीज
सी
चेक
फाइल का?
कीजिए।
कौन सी फाइल का?
सर फॉर्म फॉर्म वाला जो कोड था।
ओके, फॉर्म वाला कोड, हैड प्रोडक्ट, हैड कंपोनेंट HTML। ओके, कहाँ से मैं हाफ से फिर सेंड कर देता हूँ।
सर सिर्फ डिव और बटन, सर जो एग्जांपल इनपुट क्वांटिटी, हाँ तो वहां से, हाँ यस सर, बस इतना। थैंक यू सर।
Hmm. Okay, so let's continue. I guess everyone has completed the work till this point. Okay, now the first thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be coming. Let's close all the files and okay, we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be sending products from the app instead of creating products over here. It will get it product as an input. So I will say at the rate input. You will get this products. Okay, by default, let's just copy it up. Let's copy the entire thing. And coming to the app component.ts, over here we're gonna have this products. We need to import it as well. So let's just copy the import over here. And okay, and we need to send it as a parameter over here. So over here we will send that there will be something called products that will be equal to products. Okay, and this way we have send the parameter of products as a input from parent component to the child, and then child component sending individual product to the its own child. So here we have three hierarchies from app component to the product, from product to the product card. Okay, understood this. Anyone has any doubts on it? Let's see, is it working or not? Okay, it's running, coming to the output, and it's completely fine. There is no problem. Anyone has any doubts on it as of now? No, that's great. So next thing we have to do is make this empty. First thing is we have to write the actual number, right? So here I will say instead of 3, this will be equal to what? This dot products dot length means this products array. How many elements are there? The length of that total number of products in the products group of products will be equal to product count. Any doubt on it? So see, there are 4 products, so count is 4. This is now active. If I
सर ये
do,
लेंथ वाला समझ में नहीं आया.
okay. So let's open JavaScript. Let's come to the JavaScript. So what do we say? What is array? We say that array is group of similar elements, right? Let's say this is array. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? 4 elements are there.
Yes, sir.
Now maybe there are 10,000 elements, 10 lakh elements. Every time we not able to count, right?
Yes, sir.
So when we want to find out how many elements are there in an array, what we basically do, we say the name of that a dot length. A dot
Dot length.
length will give us a total number of elements. So it's saying that there are 4 elements. So here we said this dot. What is this dot? We will come it. We will come to it. But products dot length tell us number of elements in the group of elements. Understood? Whoever is asking, who is asking this question, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to this, since the product is of same class, this class, and products belong to this class only, right? So when we want to refer the variables present in the same class, when we want to refer the variables present in the same class, we have to add this before it, so that it will say that this property belongs to the same class, not outside of it. Understood? If I don't put this, it will say error. Which products you are talking about? I don't know which products you are. So that's why I said this. Products from the same class I'm talking. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next thing we have to do is we need to get the total. Now, coming to the JavaScript again, when I say a enter, you will find out in the JavaScript we have lot of functions with it. We have lot of functions with it. Okay. We will, our main topic of this uh, session, this workshop is not to learn JavaScript. So we will not go to each and every function of it, but we will learn one function from it. Okay, what is the one function that we should learn for getting the total that I'm gonna use is reduce. What does the reduce do? Okay, so in the reduce, we basically try to find out one answer from the group of elements. From the reduce, we basically find out one answer from the group of elements. Let's say here we have five people. Okay, I want to find out the tallest person in the group. I want to find out the shortest person in the group. I want to find out the person whose name is Suraj. Let so I want to find out a single answer from the group of elements. That is a position. That is a place where we use reduce. Okay. Now here what I want. Here I want to calculate the total. That will be equal to what? That will be equal to quantity into price of every element. Yes or no? This grand
सर
Yes,
ये
total.
sir.
कैसे इक्वल रहेगी, मतलब मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया।
क्या क्या समझ नहीं आया बताओ।
इसमें आप बोल रहे हैं कि जैसे प्राइस के बराबर रहेगी क्वांटिटी।
Price into means multiply.
अच्छा।
10 into 10 is 100, right? अगर
यस।
10 चीजें 10 रुपए की खरीदोगे 100 रुपए दोगे ना।
हाँ हाँ, अच्छा वो इनटू के हिसाब से।
हाँ।
ओके ओके।
And sum of all these price into quantity will be grand total. Yes or no?
यस सर।
तो हमें एक सिंगल वैल्यू निकालनी है फ्रॉम द एरे। यस और नो? ग्रैंड टोटल निकालना है।
यस सर।
So that is a place where I'm gonna use reduce. So see carefully this reduce. Okay, I'm gonna give 2 or 3 examples, not more than. Okay. So I will say, let's say there is answer which is equal to a dot reduce. Okay, in the reduce, I need to provide a function as a parameter. So I will say function, there will be answer, there will be current. Okay, and then I will write a function. Arrow function I'm writing, arrow function I've already introduced in the last class. So I will say, I will say, first let me print the answer first. Console.log, what is the answer till now? What is the current element? Okay, I will say if I will say answer is equal to answer plus current, then return the answer. Okay, then I will close this function and I will say it will start from the zero. Before any element added, the sum will be zero. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Sum is zero and current element is one. So 0 plus 1 becomes 1, yes or no? So for the next element, the sum is 1 and the element is 2. 1 plus 2 becomes how much? 3. So it's saying 3 and the third element is 3. So 3 plus 3 becomes 6. So 6 is there and 4 is the new element. So 6 plus 4 becomes 10. So if I say answer now, the answer is 10. So here what we have done, we have added answer plus whatever the current element is. And we have done it for every element. We have started from the 1, then we move to 2, then we move to 3, then we move to 4. And finally what we get answer as a 10. This is what reduce does. समझ आया everyone? Yes or no?
यस सर।
Suraj, Prem, Saket, clear? Should I give one more example or should I move to the up, move to implement
सर
this?
एक और एग्जांपल दे दीजिए.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's go to one more example. Next thing I want to find out is the largest element in the array. So again, I will say constant. Okay, let's take one more max example, then we will implement. And I will here say, let's say there is answer 2. I will say a dot reduce, and there will be function. Let's say answer this till this point and current element. Okay, if I will say, I will print over here what is the answer, and I will say what is the current element I am finding out as of now. Next, I will say if current element is greater than answer. If current element is greater than answer, then answer becomes current element. And I am returning what? Answer. Okay, right now starting में zero सबसे छोटा element है, तो I am taking 0. Enter किया, तो इसने क्या बोला? इसने बोला कि 0 से बड़ा 1 है तो नेक्स्ट के लिए 1 हो गया, 1 से बड़ा 2 है तो नेक्स्ट के लिए 2 हो गया, 2 से बड़ा 3 है तो नेक्स्ट के लिए 3 हो गया, 3 से बड़ा 4 है तो आंसर 2 में क्या आएगा? आंसर 2 में आ जाएगा 4. 4 is the largest element. Understood? Clear? When we want to conclude one value from the group of array, group of values, group of Silliman elements, we use reduce. Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Console. Okay, console basically to show you guys. There is no use of console to show actually what is happening with every element. When we move to next element, what happened to the answer? When we move to the next element, what happens to the answer? That's why I'm using console. Console is to show. That's it. If I remove it, there is no purpose of the console but to show the process. That's why I'm added the console. Okay, coming back over here. Here I will say this dot products dot reduce answer comma current element. Answer is equal to answer plus current element dot quantity into current element dot price and return the answer. And answer will be 0 in the beginning. Let's save it up and let's see what happens over here. Since most of the quantity is 0, only 10, 10 becomes 100, so answer becomes 100. Let's change the quantity over here to 2. Saving it. So here becomes 2, total becomes 120 and either becomes 120. So this is also changing depending upon the quantities over here. Clear?
Yes, sir.
ऋतिक अभी रिड्यूस ही तो बता रहा था मैं, रिड्यूस सिंगल वैल्यू कंक्लूड करने के लिए यूज होता है, यहाँ पे रिड्यूस ही तो लिखा है, क्या हो गया? अंडरस्टूड व्हाट इज रिड्यूस? अभी तो बताया मैंने, रिड्यूस लार्जेस्ट एलिमेंट, स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट, सम ऑफ एलिमेंट.
वो तो कंसोल का भी आपने बोला था ना सर इसमें.
कंसोल टू मैं दिखाने के लिए लिखा था, मैं कंसोल हटा दूंगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा.
अच्छा.
कि आपको दिखाने के लिए कि जब मैं अगले एलिमेंट पे जाता हूँ तो पुराने एलिमेंट तक आंसर क्या होता है, मुझे वो दिखाना था आपको.
ओके ओके.
Okay, so let's move to the next part. Okay, next part would be is that let's make, okay, let's complete your code till this point so that we can move forward, because next there will be upward data transfer, that is from child to the parent, the next thing that we're going to be doing. So I'm giving you guys to complete the code till this point. I'm sharing my screen to two different files. where I have done the changes. Okay, the rest of the things are same. So complete your code till this point and let me know so that we can move forward. Okay, I will be on the VS Code. Please raise a hand if there is any doubt.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, Suraj.
सर मेरे प्रीवियस के कोड में ही सर कुछ एरर आ रहा है सर सर
दिखाओ,
मतलब
स्क्रीन शेयर करो, दिखाओ.
ओके सर जस्ट एक मिनट
हम्म.
सर स्क्रीन विजिबल है?
Yes.
सर अभी दिख रहा है सर स्क्रीन?
दिख रहा है।
ओके। तो सर ये प्रोडक्ट और कंपोनेंट का सर
आपने
मैंने
क्रोम शेड किया है, मैं VS कोड नहीं लिख पा रहा हूँ।
सर अभी दिख रहा है?
हम्म
सर VS कोड दिख रहा है अभी?
हाँ।
ओके। सर यहाँ पे सर मेरा कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ।
बहुत सारा गड़बड़ है। लाइन नंबर 17 हटा दो, लाइन नंबर 18 हटा दो, 2 बार पेस्ट हो गया वो।
सर ये पूरा राइट?
हम्म ओके। ये डिव हटा दो। हम्म
सर यहाँ पे सर नेव केस में हेडर एंड फुटर में सर आपने कोड दिया था कि मुझे।
मैं डाल देता हूँ फिर से चैट पे।
ओके।
सर ये अभी लास्ट 2 कोड आपने कौन से वाले भेजे हैं? कौन से वाले के लिए?
नैव बार और फुटर।
नैवबार और फुटर।
सर
ओके।
सर ऐप डॉट कंपोनेंट डॉट एचटीएमएल फाइल में से हमने हेडर और फुटर ही रखा ना सर, सिलेक्टर
नहीं
इसका।
नहीं, मैं चैट पे भेजा। और इसका कंपोनेंट और TS का चैट पे भेज ही देता हूँ मैं। इसकी TS फाइल का कोड भी चैट पे भेज दिया मैंने। एक लाइन मिस है।
सर ये जो सर अभी मैंने कॉपी किया ये ऐप डॉट इसमें डालना पड़ेगा सर,
हाँ,
और कंपोनेंट डॉट टीएस।
2 लाइनें और भेजे वो पेज को। हटा दो ये 40 और 39 हटा दो। टाइटल 2 बार आ गया, टाइटल हटा दो। नीचे आओ, करंट डॉट 39 लाइन नंबर हटा दो।
सर ये वाली
38 ये ऊपर वाली
ओके।
आप डॉट प्रोडक्ट्स पे आओ। ये ऐड प्रोडक्ट बनाया नहीं, कंपोनेंट बनाओ ये। हाइड पे क्लिक कर सकते हो।
ओके सर कौन सा कंपोनेंट बनाना है सर?
ऐड डैश प्रोडक्ट।
सर ऐसे ही ना सर?
तब तक प्रोडक्ट में आओ, प्रोडक्ट डॉट टीएस। इसको चार्ट पे डाला मैंने, कॉपी करो। ये वाला नहीं, एक और भेज रहा हूँ। लास्ट वाला।
सर लास्ट वाली लाइन में सर? सर ये रिमूव करना है सर, कंपोनेंट डॉट टीएस।
वापस आओ, एरर दिखाओ बाकी के। अब ऐड प्रोडक्ट में मैंने ऊपर जो मैसेज भेजा वो डालो, ऐड प्रोडक्ट डॉट एचटीएमएल में। इसके ऊपर वाला, हाँ ये सारा। टॉप पे है। इसमें लाइन नंबर 12 और 13 हटा दो। वापस और नोट सर्वर पे दिखाओ कोई एरर आ रही है। टर्मिनल ऊपर वाले टर्मिनल पे।
सर फिर से एनजी सर्व कर।
ओके, इसका काम भी नहीं करा आपने, बहुत पीछे हो गई।
Component.
प्रोडक्ट कार्ड डॉट एचटीएमएल खोलो, मैंने चैट पे मैसेज भेजा, वो पेस्ट करो। लाइन नंबर 12 13 हटा दो। नहीं 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 नहीं, एक सेकंड, 12 हटा दो। उसके टीएसएल में काम करा हुआ, ठीक है। ऊपर वाला टर्मिनल ओपन करो, देखो कोई और आ रहा है क्या। ठीक है, आउटपुट पे आओ। इसकी CSS फाइल कॉपी करो, उसकी CSS फाइल भेज रहा हूँ मैं। प्रोडक्ट कार्ड डॉट CSS में पेस्ट कर दो जो मैंने चैट पे भेजा। I guess everyone else has completed the work as well with me. Anyone else lacking behind? Okay. In that scenario, let's move forward then. Now, what we're gonna be doing is, you can
Thank
stop.
you, sir. Yes, sir.
The next thing that we're gonna be doing is we wanna make our increment decrement button working. Okay, so increment decrement button working will be to second way, reverse binding, means child component is sending data to the parent component. Okay, so let's see how we are gonna do this. So first of all, what we're gonna be doing is, uh, I will come to the app.component.ts and let's make the ID to be unique. Or let the ID, okay, let ID be unique. So one, although I don't, there is a way to not use ID as well, but let's make it unique as well. Later or future we have to do it. So let's make it unique. Okay, first step is this. The next thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be coming to the components of product card. In the product card, and the over here we're gonna be writing functions. Let's say there will be add increment. There will be function called increment. So what this gonna do? This will print console.log this dot product. Let's see what does it do. And there will be decrement. Okay, I'm only gonna do for the increment. Decrement, you guys do it yourself. Okay, now coming to the card itself, and over here in the increment part, I will write a function on click. They need to call increment. Increment function needs to be called. Let's check is it working or not. So I will come over here. I will open Control Shift I or Command Option I in case of Mac. I will click on plus. Reference error, increment is not defined. Okay, so let's see is the spelling correct. Increment spelling is correct. Okay, let's call it a function. Now I guess they will be able to call it. Let's say increment is not defined again. So why it's giving us this error? Spelling is correct, most probably. On click.
Sir, on click and parent.
Sorry.
Sir, on
Anyone saying something? Okay, instead of on click, there is another event called click. Let's try to use this one. On any click of this, we need to call it. Okay. Okay, now we are able to call the function on the click of a button. That's great. It's working. Now, what do we have to do is now we have to pass this information from the product card to the product first and from the product to the app component. So that app component will increase the quantity. So here, what exactly we have to do is we have to pass the information from the child to the parent. Now, how can we do it? So there is something called event emitters. So what is the event emitter do? Let's say we have a festival of Holi. What do we do is there is a event called Holi, and what happens is whenever there is an event called Holi, we play with colors. Similarly, there is an event called Diwali. What do we do on Diwali? We burn crackers, we decorate house, we do puja. So we do all the three tasks. So there is an event, and there is certain tasks need to be done on that event. So for every event, there are two things. First is event listeners, and the second is event emitters. For example, our calendar emit a event Diwali. Today is Diwali. So there are listeners on our mind that we have to burn crackers, we have to decorate the house, we have to do puja, we have to do hey, this, we have to do that. So what exactly is happening? There are two things. There are emitters that are telling that this is an event, and then there are listeners that are doing certain tasks on the occurring of that particular event. So that what exactly here we also have to do. So we have to emit a event that there is a event occurred. Okay, and what to do on that event, we have to tell a parent. Child will emit a event and parent had to do something. Okay, clear what is event do? How to do it, we will understand. But are you able to understand the concept? What does event emitters means? Anyone, any doubts on it?
Sir, can you please repeat? Actually, unable to understand.
Okay, so let's take festivals example. So there is a event called 26th January. There is an event on 26th January. So whenever 26th January comes, there is a parade, there is a welcome ceremony, there is a chief guest comes in. So all these things occur on every time that event occurs.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So
Yes.
whenever that event occurs, we have to do all these three tasks.
Hmm.
So somebody is sitting over there that is waiting for this event to occur, and whenever that event occur, they do this task. Correct. So every event has two parts. One is event emitters that will tell that today is an event, this is an event, this is an event. And there is event listeners. Those will listen the event. That we have listened the event, we have uh, got the event, we have to do this. Whenever this event occurs, we have to do this. So
सर
what
फर्स्ट नाम तो आपने इवेंट लिसनर का बताया और दूसरा
event emitters, event listeners is something that I'm telling as a second part. There is event emitters that will tell that this is an event, this is an event, this is an event. Second is
सर
event
ए
listener.
एम आई टी आर एस ये वाला एमिटर्स
EMIT, that's it. Emit, EIMIT, emits, emitters. EMITERS, that's it.
ओके सर ओके
Okay. So there will be two parts. There is something called emitting a event and there is something called listening a event. So we will do certain tasks whenever we hear the event. Uh, that's what we have to do on the event. Whenever the event emitters emits, whenever the event emitters emits the event. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be doing. The child component, every time we click on a plus part, will emit a event. Every time we emit a event, the child component will emit a event. Then there will be a listener on the parent that will listen to the event. So the moment he listens the event, he will do certain task. Okay, so that's what we have to do over here. How to do it? Let's see. So for that, I will come to the child component first. In the child component, I will say that there will be a output at the rate output. Okay. this output will do what? There is an event called increase quantity. Okay, this is the event. We have to tell this is a event. Event emitters. This will be auto imported over here as well. And this will send something. This will send what? This will send product. This will emit product. Okay, new event emitters we have created. Okay, so whenever increment quantity does, we will say this dot increase quantity dot emit a event called increase quantity. Sorry, emit a event and send what? Send this dot product. Understood these two lines that I have added as of now. I am emitting an event. There will be a listener of event.
ओके, सो मतलब ये तो एमिट कर रहा है इवेंट को, और जो लिसन करेगा वो अदर उसमें आएगा,
हाँ, वो आएगा इसके पेरेंट में।
पेरेंट क्लास में।
हम्म
ओके, और ये जो प्रोडक्ट आपने एरो में लिखा है, ये क्या टैग है क्या कोई?
ये बताएगा कि इवेंट जब एमिट हो रहा है ना, उसको क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन सेंड करनी है। इसको एम्प्टी भी कर दूंगा मैं, बट मुझे बताना है ना कौन से प्रोडक्ट ने इवेंट एमिट करा, क्योंकि ये तो मल्टीपल टाइम्स है प्रोडक्ट के पास। तो यहाँ पे तो 4 बार प्लस है, राइट?
हम्म।
तो कौन से वाले ने प्लस किया वो कैसे बताऊं मैं?
अच्छा, तब उस केस के लिए अपन लिखेंगे इसको
हाँ,
ऐसे।
कि मैं प्रोडक्ट का पूरा प्रोडक्ट, या तो मैं आईडी सेंड करूँ, जैसे मैंने आईडी यूनिक करी, मैं तो आईडी सेंड करूँ। वरना मैं जब
हाँ।
प्रोडक्ट सेंड करता हूँ तो पूरा का पूरा प्रोडक्ट ही भेजो ना भाई।
हम्म।
अंडरस्टूड?
यस।
ओके, नाउ we have to listen this event where on the parent. Who is the parent of the product card? Products. Okay, so I will come over here. Here there will be an event that I have to listen. So what will I do? I will first write a function. Let's say okay, I will say increase quantity of product. Okay, this will do what? Console.log. Okay, this will do what? Console.log. Here this is from parent. Okay, this will receive what? This will receive product. What will be the type of it? It will be of product class that we have created, and it will print that as well. Okay, I have written a function that will take a parameter product and it will print this. This is from parent. Okay, when this function needs to be called? When the event has occurred and somebody has listened the event. Correct? So I will come over here and I will say over here in the add product card, I will say increase, let me just copy the name, increase quantity of product. Okay, on what thing it has to do? Whenever it has listen a event. What event he has listen? uh, Increase quantity. Okay, let's not confuse in the name, so let's name it same. Increase quantity over here, and over here also let's say increase quantity only. Okay, so there will be less confusion, I guess, otherwise you will get confused. I will say increase quantity, and increase quantity is what? Increase quantity is the event, so I will say dollar event. So whenever this event occurs, do what? Do call the increase quantity. Okay, so this is I have told it over here. Now I have also printed something on the increase quantity. Let's see is it working or not. So I will again click on plus. It has print this only, but it has not called the parent. I guess we have to load it again or what? Okay, this is from parent we are not able to call. So coming over here, Let's print this console.product or below the emit as well. Okay, we are able to print it 2 times. It means it is working, but we are not able to receive it on the parent of it. Okay, so let's see what is wrong over there.
तो सब मतलब चाइल्ड से जा रहा है इसके अंदर.
चाइल्ड से जा रहा है बट पेरेंट रिसीव नहीं कर रहा. ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है.
ओके.
यहाँ पे येलो लाइन आ रही है. Increase quantity. Okay, I have not put it in the square brackets. Okay.
सर इसमें ये कैसे जज किया आपने कि स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में नहीं है
Error,
इसलिए वर्क नहीं कर रहा है?
जब मैं यहाँ पे नहीं था तो एरर आ रहा था ना.
क्या सर?
ये एरर आ रहा है ना, एट्रीब्यूट नेम मस्ट बी इन स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट समथिंग लाइक दिस.
अच्छा इसलिए. ओके.
बट मैंने जैसे ही वो डाला वहाँ पे तो और भी ज्यादा लगा है. ओके, हटा देते हैं इसको.
बट वो उसमें सारे को लोअर केस में करने को कह रहा है.
हाँ, वो तो कुछ और इशू है. वो तो जनरली नॉर्मल है. वो तो मेरा मतलब किसी और चीज का नहीं है. वो एरर नहीं है, रिकमेंडेशन है. स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक होगी मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली, बट किसी ने कुछ डाला क्या चैट पे? नहीं. ओके. इंक्रीज क्वांटिटी स्पेलिंग तो ठीक है. सो व्हाट इज रॉन्ग ओवर हियर? emit emitter emit the start product. Increase quantity we are calling. Increase quantity we are calling over here. The event over there. And receive a product. Increase quantity. Spelling is correct. There is nothing wrong in the spelling part. Then what is the issue? What is
सर यहाँ पे आपने प्रोडक्ट्स लिख दिया फर्स्ट 10 नंबर लाइन में.
वो तो इनपुट में मिला ना इसको. इसके पेरेंट से इनपुट में प्रोडक्ट्स आ रहा है. वो तो डिफरेंट है.
अच्छा.
यहाँ से कुछ तो कर लेते हैं. Increase quantity must be attribute name of this. Begin over this. यहाँ पे कुछ स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक हो रही हो. Increase quantity. ये दोनों सही हैं. ये दोनों भी सही हैं. तो फिर दिक्कत कहाँ हुई? इंक्रीज क्वांटिटी डॉलर इवेंट ही लिखते हैं. If I don't write event, then what will happen? Nothing is occurring. So basically mistake is over here only, but dollar event we have typed. Let's say it is not passing any information. Then what will happen? Let's say this is not receiving anything. Okay, and emitter is not passing any information. It is just emitting it. Hmm. Still, I'm not able to call the event. Hmm. There is something not correct, but what exactly? Hmm. Seems okay to me over here there is nothing wrong. Mm, uh, okay, there is nothing wrong over here.
सर यहाँ पे एक्सपोर्ट का क्या मतलब है?
एक्सपोर्ट का लिख रहा हूँ ये ताकि आप इसको कहीं और यूज कर सको.
अच्छा
Desktop product. What's wrong? Emit is not working. Emit is not working. Here we are receiving it, but we are not able to receive. Let's see. Let's find out what is the exact issue. Event listening in parent child. इसको हटाते हैं. On add event listener, click mm, Angular. Event emitter must be added as output. Decorator to the event emitter must notify the change. The parent. We have done this. We have done this as well. Add new item dot value. We are sending on the click. Okay, in the parent component. Okay, we have to add round brackets and the child function add item will be called add new item event round brackets डाल के देख लेते हैं, but I don't think that is an issue. It should work without that as well. Increase quantity. Okay, function में यहाँ पे मैंने हटा दिया वो. Okay, now this is from parent is there. That's great. Now this is working only. Okay, so only the round brackets was creating a problem, not anything else. So here we are. We are sending information from the parent to the child, and we have only half an hour left. Product. Okay, let's see. Are we able to receive it or not? Control Shift I. Are we able to increase the quantity? We are able to receive the complete product. That's great. If we click on the second one, we are able to receive the second product. Perfectly fine. Okay, now from this, we have to send it to its parents as well. So here again, we have to write the same thing. Add output. Okay. And increment quantity, we have to name it a different events basically. Okay. So event emitter.
सर इसमें आउटपुट अपन इसलिए यूज कर रहे हैं ना टू शो द आउटपुट.
Yeah, to send to tell that there will be output of this component that will be received by its parent.
व्हाट सर?
We are telling that there will be output which will be received by its parent.
ओके सर.
So here I will say there is some fast message. I guess. Okay. So again I will say this dot increment quantity, and it will send what this, or it will send product in emit. Okay, now we have to receive it in its parent. That will be here. So let's write a function. Here we will write the complete logic to increase the quantity. Okay. So first let's say increment quantity is a function. This is console.log. This is from grandparent. Okay. Now over here, I will receive one thing as an input. So I will put around brackets. I have to call increment quantity. Increment quantity having $event. Okay. Let's see. Are we able to call the grandparent now or not? Okay, so this is from parent, this is from grandparent. So we are sending data 2 layers above. Okay, now in the grandparent, we have to write the logic. Okay, in the grandparent component TS, we will say, we will go to every product. So this dot products dot for each. Again, one more, I have to tell you guys. Okay, so what does for each do? For each basically go to every element of the array. For each is a, let's say I have to go, constant a is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Okay. So when I say a dot for each, I will again write a function. Let's say x, and I can say console.log x. Okay, so what will for each do? For each go to the every element and give it value of x. Okay, understood. What does for each do? Anyone any doubt on the for each part?
सर
But
इट
it's
मीन्स मतलब जैसे ये हर एक एलिमेंट के ऊपर अगर जा रहा है तो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपने ये जैसे लिखा x इक्वल टू 5 तो ये फिर 6 7 8 सबके ऊपर जाएगा ऐसा?
नहीं नहीं, यहाँ पे 5 तक ही है ना एलिमेंट्स, 1 2 3 4 5।
हाँ
जहाँ पे जितने भी एलिमेंट्स होंगे हर एक के बाद एक एक करके जाएगा और उसको एक्स रख देगा। एक्स इज इक्वल टू 1, एक्स इज इक्वल टू 2, एक्स इज इक्वल टू 3, एक्स इज इक्वल टू 4।
अच्छा एक एक के करके जाएगा सबके
हाँ,
पास।
दैट्स व्हाट फॉर ईच डू, ईच एलिमेंट ऑफ द फॉर ऑफ द एरे।
ओके
Anyone else any doubt? Clear everyone? I'm gonna use it now. Okay, no doubt. So let's move forward. So I will say for every product object, if product object dot id is equal to the product that it receive as a parameter dot
पापा
id,
पेस्ट पास करना।
अगर इन दोनों का id सेम है, then do what? Product dot quantity, product object dot quantity, product object dot quantity plus plus. Understood? Clear in this increment quantity? Let's see is it working or not. Okay, I will come over here. I
सर
will,
क्वांटिटी प्लस प्लस का तो मतलब ये हुआ कि इंक्रीमेंट हो रहा है।
हाँ एक ऐड कर दो, प्लस प्लस मतलब 1 ऐड कर दो।
1 ऐड कर दो।
देखो यहाँ पे मैंने प्लस पे क्लिक करा, अब ये सब में ऐड हो रहा है। क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने यहाँ पे सिंगल इक्वल लगा दिया, मेरे को यहाँ पे डबल इक्वल लगाना है, इक्वल होना चाहिए तभी ऐड करो। ओके, तो यहाँ पे वापस रीसेट हो गया, मैं प्लस करता हूँ, इसका क्वांटिटी 11 हो गया, ये चेंज हो गया, नीचे टोटल चेंज होना चाहिए था या हो गया पता नहीं, नहीं हुआ ना, नहीं हुआ, टोटल अपडेट नहीं हुआ, तो मुझे अब टोटल भी अपडेट करना पड़ेगा। तो फिर मैं यहाँ पे क्या करूँगा, इसका कोड फिर से कॉपी करते हैं और इसके नीचे पेस्ट कर देते हैं और बोलते हैं कि this dot total becomes what, equal to add of all the products into quantity. ओके, चेक करते हैं, इंक्रीमेंट करा क्वांटिटी, यहाँ चेंज हो गया, यहाँ भी चेंज हो गया, इसकी क्वांटिटी चेंज करी, यहाँ चेंज हो, यहाँ भी चेंज हो गया, इसकी ऐड करी, इसकी ऐड हो गई, इसकी ऐड करी, इसकी ऐड हो गई. अंडरस्टूड हाउ इट्स वर्किंग? एवरीवन क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's remove the consoles because there are too many consoles, we don't need it. So from here we have removed from this component we have to remove, from here we have to remove. Okay, now we have to do the same thing in the subtraction part. We don't have time, so I'm not giving you guys time. I will just write it away straight away. Okay, so I will just copy this up, paste it over here, increase ki jagah, let decrease it. Decrease. Okay, yeah, I will just copy this up again, paste it up, increment, make it decrement. Decrease quantity. Rest is same. Coming to the product card, on the click, increment should be, click on the click of subtraction, it will be decrement. That's it. There is no change. Coming to the parent of it. Over here, coming to the component TS file, first of all, increase quantity will be copied to decrease quantity. Okay, increase quantity, increment quantity will be copied to decrement quantity. Over here also we have to omit what? Decrement quantity. Coming to the HTML file of it, and we will have one more event over here. So I will just copy this up, space, paste, increase quantity will be changed to decrease quantity, increment quantity, increase quantity will change to decrease quantity. Okay, now we will go its parents. So over here, I'm just copying it over here till now, but there will be a lot of change in this. Here there will be a change because decrement quantity is little bit tricky to handle. There will be few changes that we will see. Decrement quantity. Okay, we will come over here. We have increment quantity to be called to decrement quantity. Let's see first this is completely working or not. Okay, there is one error that we have done. Okay, we have added comma. Okay, first it should increase the quantity. So it is increasing the quantity and rest is completely working fine. That's great. But what is the change? First change is that this will be minus minus because it needs to decrease. But what will happen if it is already 0? Then it will go in sub minus. But quantity cannot be minus. We are in a shopping cart, right? It cannot go in subtraction. So we have to stop it. The moment quantity becomes less than 0, we have to delete this element. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to check over here. We have to, let's say constant, not constant. Let's create a element let index is equal to undefined. ओके कि लेट से कोई भी इंडेक्स अभी डिलीट नहीं करना. फिर मैं यहाँ पे बोलूंगा if product object dot quantity becomes less than 0, then index will be equal to what? Index will be equal to position of this element in the array. Index is basically position. So in array now, position starts from the 0. This is the first element. But what will be the position in the array? It will be 0. Okay. So here, what will I do? I will in the uh, I will say product object dot id minus one. That will be the index. Okay. Next thing I will do here, I will say this dot products dot splice. What does the splice do? Splice one more method of the array. Let's say a is equal to this. When I print this, there is a method in this. We have done for each. We have done reduce. There is one more function in this called splice. What does the splice do? Splice say, tell me from which position I need to remove and tell me how many elements I need to remove. That's what the splice say. Okay. So I will say remove the element from index. How many elements? One element. But it has to do this when? When there is index. When index is defined, then do this. Otherwise, don't do this. Okay, let's see this is working or not. Okay. Now, if I decrease the quantity over here, it's become 990, total decreases. Over here, it's 0. When I decrease it, it's removed from the array. Understood? This is not working. What happened? One is removed, then why not the second one? Okay. Okay, now it's working completely fine. Understood. What does the when the quantity becomes less than 0, we are removing the elements. Clear? Why this is happening?
Yes, sir.
We have done something wrong or what? Less than 0. Okay, ID is ID. We can't use ID over here. So what we have to do is we have to change the product object comma index. This will also give us the index. Okay, so instead of index, I will just say I. So when I say product object comma I, this I will be equal to the position of element in the array. So I will say this is equal to I. Okay. Now, if I decrease this, completely fine. If I remove one more, 0, and one more, and it is gone. Understood? What is why how decrement is different from the increment? In decrement, we have to handle the negative case as well. Understood? Everyone? Yes or no?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So could you please explain like the decrement?
Okay. First, let's come to the for each once again. Okay, I will say constant a is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Okay, now a dot for each x console.log x. So it is going to every element, but I also want to know the position of these elements. So I will say x comma I, and I will say I over here. Let's see what will happen. So it's saying that I1 is at 0th position, 2 is at first position, 3 is at second position. So this I is the index of position of the element in the array. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next thing that I want to be clear, next thing I was doing is I have created a variable called index undefined. By default, there is no value that needs to be deleted. Okay. Then I am decreasing the quantity. I am decreasing the quantity by 1. Okay. Then I'm checking if the quantity becomes less than 0. If the quantity becomes less than 0, then put the value inside the index. Put the value of that, put the position of that inside the index. Understood this line?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm checking if index contains any value.
Sir, can you please repeat like the index part once again?
Okay. So what I've understood, the second parameter of the for each give me the position of the element, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So here I'm checking.
Right now the position is 0, na, of a product.
No. Depends on which position we are. It will start from the 0. If I'm
Okay.
talking about the second element in the array, technically the position of the second element in the array would be 1. Okay. Counting starts from the 0 in the coding, in the programming language.
Yes, sir. So 0. So if we are talking about the third position, so
It
it
will
will be like 2, na?
be, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm here checking that if the quantity of that element is less than 0, if the quantity of element is less than 0, then index will be of that position. Let's remove this element from the array. Okay. Then after this for each, when the for each is done, then I'm checking if the index having having index having the value, if index is not undefined, here I am setting undefined, if index has the value, then from that position remove one element, splice remove the elements. Understood? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is what decrement quantity do. The next thing is we need to add the product. So that is very simple. Okay, what we have to do is let's write a function over here first. Add product. Okay, this will receive what? This will receive product of type product. Okay, this is what it has to do is it has to say the product dot id will be equal to what? Will be equal to this dot products. Here this dot products minus 1. This dot products minus 1 dot id. समझ में आया ये क्या हुआ? This dot, okay, here there is a mistake. This dot products dot length. यहाँ पे मैंने क्या करा, मुझे ना लास्ट एलिमेंट चाहिए, मुझे लास्ट एलिमेंट चाहिए. अब मुझे यहाँ पे पता है 5 एलिमेंट्स हैं, तो मैं यहाँ पे लिखूंगा a of 4 will be equal to 5. Yes or no? Length minus 1 is 5, fourth position, correct? Length is 5.
Yes, sir.
I can access the particular element using the square brackets. Okay, so I want to access the last element in my array. Okay, last element in my array is a of length minus 1. A of length is what? 5. So I want to access the fourth position. Fourth will be the last position. Yes or no in the array? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that's what I am doing. I am saying
Yes,
from
sir.
the last position of from the last element a products dot length, how many products are there? minus 1. The last product in my array की जो ID है उसमें +1 ऐड कर दो for the new
बट सर अगर ये जैसे -1 लिखा तो ये तो डिक्रीज होने लग जाएगा.
प्रोडक्ट की लेंथ से एक कमी तो चाहिए. प्रोडक्ट की लेंथ तो 5 है, पोजीशन कितनी होंगी? 4 ही होंगी.
अच्छा. ओके, तो अपन 4 चाहते हैं इसमें.
हाँ, इसलिए एक कम करना है. तो उसकी जो भी आईडी है ना उसमें +1 कर दो इसकी प्रोडक्ट की आईडी के लिए. अंडरस्टूड?
हाँ.
Then what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say this dot products dot push the new product. That's it. Then I'm saying that जो भी नया प्रोडक्ट आया ना उसकी आईडी सेट हो गई, अब इसको उस एरे में डाल दो, उस एरे में डाल दो. This is what add product do. Now we have to receive this information product from where? From the child component. So we will come to the add product first. In the add product we will have come to the here. There will be output of it. So we will say @output. Output would be add product. Okay. This will be event emitter of type what? It will also send product. New event emitter. Okay. Now ये कब होगा? जब हम फॉर्म पूरा फिल कर दे तभी करना है ये. तो आई विल से On submit, what we have to do, right? But what are the things we're gonna have over here? We're gonna have a name of string. Okay, we're gonna have a price, number. We're gonna have quantity. Okay, now we have to generate the product. So I will say constant new.
सर इसमें भी आपने जीरो इंडेक्सिंग की तो इसका मतलब ये जीरो से स्टार्ट हो गई है।
इंडेक्स आईडी नहीं डाला मैंने कहीं भी, नंबर है, प्राइस दिया मैंने, स्टार्टिंग में प्राइस 0 बोल दिया।
अच्छा
प्राइस और क्वांटिटी दिया मैंने, आईडी नहीं बोला अभी तक, पोजीशन कुछ नहीं बोला मैंने, एरे है ही नहीं मेरे पास अभी।
अच्छा अच्छा
मैंने बोला एक नया प्रोडक्ट होगा, न्यू प्रोडक्ट having these values, name equal to this dot name, price equal to this dot price, quantity equal to this dot quantity. Okay, then I will emit a event. Expect 0 arguments, but got this. Okay, let's say this way. I have to say product dot name will be equal to this. Now it's giving string is not assignable to type string. Okay, capital and small letter mistake. Here this is small. Add products. Okay, this is capital. String small. Okay, now equal n. Okay, why output is showing error? Too few arguments, uses a decorator. Okay, I have to call it as a function. Okay, now after this I will emit a event, this dot add product dot emit, and I will send this product to there. Okay, but ये function कब call होगा? जब submit होगा form तभी call होगा ये. So there is a change over here that we need to do in the form that we have created. Okay, so for that we will come to the HTML, and in the input we will say the value. Okay, so there is a twist over here. Twist is that we are in the Angular. So Angular has a form of its own, so that all the things will be done itself. Okay, so for using that, we will come to the app.module.ts, and over here we need to tell that we are using Angular forms. So we will say forms module. It will be auto import, okay, of the Angular. Now we will come to the product over here, and we will say that form, hey form, you are of type what? You are of type uh, of Angular form. So I will say there will be called ng submit. When that is called, what do you need to call? On submit. Okay, G. That's great. Next, the type over here, the input over here will be ng model, ng model of type name. Why I'm doing this? Because if I don't do this, there are a lot of things I need to handle. Whenever I'm writing a new whenever I'm writing a new letter over here, I need to update the variable. I need to update. So for that, writing a function and everything like that, no, Angular will do it itself. We don't have to do that stuff on our phone. So that's why we are doing something like this. And we're gonna say that this is a required. That without this, we cannot submit the form. Same gonna do over here. ng model having price, and this is also required. And finally, uh, over here, okay, we are almost done. ng model having quantity over here. That's it. We don't have to do anything else over here. Add product will emit the event and its parent has to listen. Here we have not added listener, but we have added add product over here now. So we just gonna call it. Over here we have add product will be equal to add product having dollar event. Let's save it up and let's see is it working or not. Let's reload the thing. What happened? Error. If ng model is used in how direct the attribute must be set of time from standalone ng model options. There is something we are missing. Okay. We have to apply the name property as well. Okay, this is something we are missing. Over here, we also have to tell the name. Name would be name in this. Here the name would be price. And here the name would be quantity. I guess this will resolve the quantity. Perfect. Okay, now let's add something. Let's say P2 having price 15, 14, quantity let's say 10. If I add this, a new product is added over here. That's great. Everything is working. If I remove this, no problem. If I remove this, there is no problem. If I decrement the quantity over here, the price is also decreasing. And the moment it becomes 0, it is getting deleted as well. So all the things are completely working. There is no problem. Understood what we have done, where exactly what anyone any doubt. I will share the code with you guys after the today's EOD, most probably tomorrow EOD, you will get the code. So anyone, any problem regarding the conceptual part, code I will share, but concepts that I have taught. Any doubts?
सर इस स्प्लाइस वगैरह का क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है एक बार और बताएंगे
ये
आप?
जावास्क्रिप्ट का पार्ट है. स्प्लाइस एक फंक्शन है जब हमें एक एलिमेंट रिमूव करना है. हमारे
सर
पास
आपकी वॉइस ब्रेक हो रही है वापस.
अब क्लियर है.
यस सर, नाउ फाइन.
मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ स्प्लाइस जो है वो जावास्क्रिप्ट का पार्ट है. वो ये बोलता है जब आपको कोई एलिमेंट रिमूव करना है एरे में से, जब आपको कोई एलिमेंट रिमूव करना है एरे में से, मुझे उस एलिमेंट की पोजीशन दे दो, मैं वो एलिमेंट रिमूव कर दूँ. बस उसका ये फंक्शन और कुछ नहीं.
ओके सर. एलिमेंट पोजीशन. और ये पुश वाले में?
पुश मतलब जब हमें नया एलिमेंट पुश करना है एरे में, नया एलिमेंट ऐड करना है एरे में,
ऐड एलिमेंट.
तो पुश करते हैं.
ओके. ओके सर. एंड इसका आप वो मतलब ये फाइल भी एक बार शेयर कर देंगे आप, या
ये
ये
सारा पूरा प्रोजेक्ट शेयर होगा. आपको npm i करना पड़ेगा स्टार्ट करने के लिए और वो शेयर स्टार्ट होगा.
क्या सर?
npm i करना पड़ेगा. अब मैं नोड मॉड्यूल्स फाइल डिलीट करके दूंगा क्योंकि उसका मेमोरी बहुत ज्यादा होता है, तो मैं वो फाइल डिलीट कर दूंगा. आपको अपने सिस्टम पे वो मेरा वाला फोल्डर खोलना होगा, npm i करना होगा ताकि नोड मॉड्यूल्स फिर से आ जाए और आप प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट कर दो. अंडरस्टूड?
ओके सर.
Anyone?
मतलब वापस से ऐड करने के लिए वही प्रोसेस रहेगा कि वो वहां से कमांड नीचे उसमें टर्मिनल में
npm i मैंने कल दिखाया था ये कैसे करते हैं कल के
LPMI। ओके सर।
ये सूरज।
या हेलो सर।
हम्म,
सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि सर जैसे अगर जैसे हमने 4 फील्ड्स ली थी, राइट? जैसे आईडी, नेम और प्राइस है, क्वांटिटी। तो फिर सर अगर हमें प्रोडक्ट की इमेज ऐड करनी होगी तो फिर सर मतलब
इमेज के लिए होता क्या है ना, इमेज हम लोग ना यूआरएल लेते हैं, पहले इमेज किसी सर्वर पे अपलोड करते हैं जो हमारी इमेज को होस्ट करेगा, और उसका यूआरएल हम सेव करते हैं। होस्टिंग के लिए अलग अलग चीजें हैं, अलग अलग तरीके हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपको फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट करना है तो एक वो है, एक ऑनलाइन वो है वेबसाइट कॉल्ड क्लाउडनेरी। आप वहाँ पे अपनी इमेज को होस्ट करोगे, वो यूआरएल देगा और यूआरएल अपने डेटाबेस में आप सेव कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, उसमें आपको एंगुलर का सारा कोड रेडीमेड मिलेगा, आपको कट कॉपी पेस्ट करना है। फोटो कैसे अपलोड होगी, फोटो का यूआरएल कैसे मिलेगा, वो सारा काम वो खुद करेगा। वहाँ पे कोड मिल जाएगा आपको रेडीमेड, कट कॉपी एंड पेस्ट इट आउट क्लाउडनेरी यूज करने के लिए। अगर मैं बोलूँ डेवलपमेंट में कौन क्या यूज करते हैं, कंपनीज क्या यूज करती हैं, तो कंपनीज जो नॉन फाइनेंशियल कंपनीज है, वो AWS का एक प्रोडक्ट है S3, Amazon वेब सर्विसेज का एक प्रोडक्ट है S3, वो यूज करती हैं। काफी सस्ता पड़ता है वो यूज करना। क्लाउडनेरी भी यूज करते हैं, बट ऑलमोस्ट सारी कंपनियां AWS यूज करती हैं। जैसे अगर मैं अपनी कंपनी की बात बताऊं या फिर फिनटेक फाइनेंशियल कंपनीज बैंक्स की बात बताऊं, तो बैंक्स वगैरह खुद के सर्वर्स यूज करते हैं, वो अमेजोन के सर्विसेज यूज नहीं करते। तो वो अपने सर्वर्स में खुद की फोटोज अपलोड करते हैं। तो दोनों में डिफरेंस होता है, बट अगर आपको डेवलपमेंट पर्पज के लिए चाहिए तो आप AWS यूज कर सकते हो। अगर आपको सीखने के पर्पज के लिए चाहिए फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, तो आपको क्लाउडनेरी मिलेगा। क्लाउडनेरी में एक सर्टन 10 MB या 15 MB आपको फ्री मिलता है, तो आप वो यूज कर सकते हो। बट AWS में तो आपको पेड ही है, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट आप एक भी फोटो अपलोड नहीं कर सकते।
तो मतलब वो फोटो अपलोड करके बस वहां से लिंक ले लो।
हाँ, लिंक अपना अपने HTML में लगा लो, वो लिंक आपको फोटो दिख जाएगी।
तो इसमें वही कोड आता है जैसे अपन ये नॉर्मल HTML में करते हैं,
हाँ
IMG SRC।
हाँ।
अच्छा, एक
वो
आप करके बता सकते हैं अभी?
टाइम टेकिंग टास्क है और वी डोंट हैव दैट मच टाइम।
व्हाट्स है?
वो थोड़ा टाइम टेकिंग टास्क है, उसमें आधा पौना घंटा लगता है सेटअप करने में। आईडी बनानी पड़ेगी, उसमें कोड कॉपी करके पेस्ट करना पड़ेगा, हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है उस चीज का।
अच्छा।
आपको वहाँ
क्या?
पे यूट्यूब की वीडियो मिल जाएगी,
अच्छा।
क्लाउडनेरी में ही, क्लाउडनेरी वालों नहीं, अपनी खुद की यूट्यूब की वीडियो मिल जाएगी वहाँ पे अपलोड।
ओके, इसका क्या नाम बताया आपने?
क्लाउडनेरी।
क्लाउड मैरी।
ये फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट आपको सीखने के लिए ओपन है। AWS आपको सीखने के लिए फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट कुछ नहीं देता, उसमें आपको पेड ही करना
AWS का S3
पड़ेगा। हाँ
बताया आपने?
हाँ, एवरीवन यूजेस दैट।
ओके सर।
एनीवन एल्स, एनी डाउट्स?
नो सर।
ओके, सो already, yeah, Saket, anything you want to ask? No, then let's wind up. We are above the time.
ओके सर, सो अभी नेक्स्ट कब होगी वर्कशॉप? कोई
Hello,
अदर भी होगा?
You have to call the office. Yes, Saket.
am I audible? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, can you share like important formulas, sorry, important commands to run or to work on Angular,
Okay. For
like in
all those
these?
commands are already present in the code. If you let me share my screen. Okay. There is a file called README. Whenever Angular you
Okay.
create Angular project, there will be a file called readme.md. Over here, you will find all the necessary commands. How to start a project, how to add a component, how to check the project. Everything is available over here, written in detail manner.
तो सर ये क्या इसमें कोई इसका कोई डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है या पूरा कोड ही दिया हुआ है?
ये डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ही है, ये डॉक्यूमेंट ही बना हुआ है, ये अपने आप बनता है डॉक्यूमेंट व्हेनेवर यू आर यूजिंग एनजी।
तो बट ये तो आपने जैसे इसमें खोला हुआ है ना VS कोड में, तो ये
आपके प्रोजेक्ट में ये डॉक्यूमेंट प्रेजेंट होगा जब आप अपना कोड खोलोगे ना, अपना कोड नया बनाओगे,
हाँ
एनजी
हाँ।
से नया प्रोजेक्ट बनाओगे, तो वहां पे भी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन अपने आप ही आ जाएगा।
अच्छा
अंडरस्टूड?
अच्छा,
क्लियर?
मतलब जैसे ही उसमें इंस्टॉल
Okay, sir.
करेंगे तो
That's
ऑटोमेटिक शो कर देगा सारा ही वो।
हाँ।
ओके
हेलो सर।
हम्म।
सर जैसे फोटो इमेज जैसे प्रोडक्ट का होता है ना सर, अगर एक एग्जांपल मतलब मिल जाता तो मतलब कैसे ऐड करना है या वैसे।
क्लाउडनरी की वेबसाइट मैं दिखा देता हूँ, वेबसाइट खोल के आपको, वहाँ पे सब कुछ मिलेगा। मेरी नीड ही नहीं है उस चीज में तो।
सर, उसका भी आप एक बार जो ये बता रहे हैं ना, एक बार इसका लिंक या तो शेयर कर देना मेल पे, अगर आप जैसे लेट हो रहे हैं तो।
क्लाउडनरी ओपन किया, क्लाउडनरी की
क्लाउडनरी,
वेबसाइट।
अच्छा
यहाँ पे गेट स्टार्टेड पे क्लिक करो, वो आपको आईडी बनाएगा। ठीक है, मैं आईडी नहीं बना रहा हूँ, बट आपको आईडी बनाते ही वहाँ पे सामने आपको लैंग्वेज पूछेगा कि आप रिएक्ट में कोड करना चाहते हो, आप एंगुलर में कोड करना चाहते हो, आप Vue.js में कोड करना चाहते हो, आप HTML में कोड करना चाहते हो, किस में कोड करना चाहते हो। उस पर क्लिक करोगे, आपको पूरा का पूरा कोड आ जाएगा आपके आईडीज, आपके पासवर्ड के साथ। उसमें आईडी पासवर्ड चाहिए होता है ताकि फोटो आपके ही अकाउंट में अपलोड हो, मेरे अकाउंट में अपलोड ना हो। तो वो रेडीमेड कोड बना बनाया आता है, आपको बस कॉपी पेस्ट करना होता है।
बट सर उसमें आईडी में कैसे अपलोड होगी? अभी तो वो अपन ने जो बनाया है वो होस्ट थोड़ी ना हुआ है लाइव।
नहीं, ये आप ये होस्ट करेगा ना फोटोज को, तो आप इसमें जैसे आईडी बनाओगे। मैं लॉग इन करता हूँ। जैसे मेरा एक कोर्स भी चलता है रिजेक्स में, तो वहाँ पे मैं ये सब काम करता हूँ, फोटो अपलोड। जैसे मैं अभी दिखाऊंगा आपको यहाँ पे, तो मैंने वहाँ पे पूरा का पूरा ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट बनाते हैं। ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे आप देखोगे यहाँ पे गेटिंग स्टार्टेड,
हाँ
इसमें आपको सारा कोड मिल जाएगा लैंग्वेज के हिसाब से, आपको कौन सी लैंग्वेज में कोड करना है। और जब फोटोज अपलोड हो जाएंगे तो आप फोटोज को देख भी सकते हो। यहाँ पे डैशबोर्ड पे आओगे, यहाँ पे कितनी मेमोरी यूज हुई है, कौन सा प्लान है, क्या आईडी है, क्या पासवर्ड है, सब दिख रहा है आपको यहाँ पे।
अच्छा, एपीआई वर्गा सब कुछ।
सब कुछ मिलेगा यहाँ पे, रेडीमेड मिलेगा आपको। वीडियो चाहिए तो वीडियो भी है, वीडियो कौन सी वीडियो चाहिए आपको, एनालिटिक्स की वीडियो चाहिए, अपलोड
तो
की
ये क्या
वीडियो।
सारा एचडी उसमें होता है या नॉन एचडी?
सब एचडी आपको डिपेंड करता है, आपको प्लान कौन सा है। फ्री में तो नॉन एचडी मिलेगा ना।
अच्छा अच्छा
फोटो आपको जैसे वीडियो होस्ट करनी है यूट्यूब की तरह, आपको वेबसाइट बनाना है जिसमें आप अपनी वीडियो अपलोड कर सकते हो, वो सारे काम इसमें होते हैं। बट फ्री कुछ चीजें हैं, बाकी चीजें पेड है, आपके ऊपर है वो चीज। अगर
तो
मैं,
इसमें भी कुछ एआई का यूज होगा?
नहीं कोई ये यूज नहीं है, फोटो सिंपल स्टोरेज है, ड्राइव है, गूगल ड्राइव है।
अच्छा ओके।
मैं दिखाऊं यहाँ पे अपलोड्स में आऊँ मैं, डेटा कहाँ है मेरा, अकाउंट। जैसे यहाँ पे अकाउंट में आप अपने प्लान्स अपग्रेड करते जाओगे, आपके फीचर चेंज होते रहेंगे, मेमोरी चेंज होती रहेगी, वीडियो होस्टिंग की वो बढ़ती रहेगी, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन आपका क्या प्लान है। इसमें एक फ्री प्लान है, इसलिए हम लोग ये यूज करते हैं लर्निंग पर्पज के लिए, बट AWS में कोई फ्री प्लान नहीं है, वो कम्प्लीटली पेड है। तो वो तो आप यूज नहीं करते, बट ये बस सीखने के लिए है। आपको कभी आपसे कोई पूछेगा नहीं, या आप बोलोगे मुझे क्लाउडनेरी आता है, तो कोई मानेगा नहीं,
अच्छा,
क्योंकि ये कोई वो नहीं है, प्रोडक्शन टूल नहीं है, ये सिर्फ लर्निंग के लिए यूज होता
और इसमें ये एपीआई के क्या एम्बेडेड कोड मिलते हैं बने बनाए या क्या
है। हाँ,
होता है?
बने बनाए कोड मिलते हैं, कॉपी पेस्ट। जैसे ही मैंने सारी फोटोज अपलोड करी थी मेरे ई
अच्छा अच्छा
कॉमर्स वेबसाइट पे, हम लोगों को अपलोड करनी थी, किसी ने बोला रेज्यूमे की वेबसाइट बना दी, रेज्यूमे अपलोड करे, तो ये अपलोड करते हुए की फोटोज हैं। तो यहाँ पे
अच्छा
आप वो सारी फोटोज आपको दिख भी सकती है।
अच्छा। तो अगर जैसे अपन को जैसे व्हाट्सएप का वो एपीआई का कुछ बना के करना हो कि जैसे कोई भी यूजर उस पर क्लिक करे तो वो अपने उसका व्हाट्सएप का पेज खुल जाए और वो यूजर आराम से मैसेज भेज सके, वो बन सकता है इसमें?
वो मैसेजेस इससे नहीं जाते, मैसेजेस का नया टूल होता है जिसका नाम है सॉकेट, मैसेजेस उससे जाते हैं, ये सिर्फ फोटो होस्ट करने के लिए यूज होता है।
अच्छा
अगर आपको अपना लोगो दिखाना है अपनी वेबसाइट पे, आपको फोटोज दिखानी है अपनी वेबसाइट पे, तो फोटो को कहीं होस्ट करना पड़ता है। फोटो कोई
अच्छा
ऑनलाइन रखेगा, वो होस्टिंग का काम ये करता है बस, और कुछ काम नहीं करता है।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा।
ये गेटिंग स्टार्टेड में आपको सारा कोड मिल जाएगा। यहाँ पे देखो एंगुलर का कोड लिखूंगा मैं, एंगुलर का सारा कोड आ गया,
ओके,
Vue.js,
जावा
पाइथन,
में चाहिए किसी में भी सब में दे देगा?
का कोड आपको मिल जाएगा रेडी। आपको कॉपी करना, कॉपी का बटन भी है, सेलेक्ट भी नहीं करना. Understood? Anyone else? Any
Yes, sir.
doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, then let's wind up for today. Let's see if we can meet on Twitter or not. And anyone want to get in touch, you guys can join the course. And that's it from my end, guys. Thanks a lot. You guys can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, please.